Then shall come rain unending, and the day shall be made night by its coming. You remember the horror as though it were yesterday. The images seared into your mind. You were there in the city of Gelstag 3 weeks ago, when an ear-splitting ringing pierced the air, like a church bell that came from the heavens. The sky grew dark and black. The sun became like a black moon in the sky for moments that seemed like an eternity. It is in that moment that every shadow cast either became something horrid or was a gateway for some creature to spill forth from and murder. The entire great city succumbed to darkness in but minutes. You fled. You ran. The sky now pours rain like the old gods are crying great tears of black blood. The rain falls, but there are no clouds. It's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks and you only have what you could quickly grab. It's been 3 weeks and a lot of you have been barely able to speak about what happened, as though your souls would not allow it, and not allow you to think of the horror you saw, as if to do that would make it reality and not some sick and twisted dream. You dredge through the great muddy flatland now. Your boots sink with every step, and what boils up around the bottom is not water, but some black oily substance. 300 yards out, there's something out there at the edge of the misty trees, those scattered dead trees. You've been wandering aimlessly to find shelter, for some place not shrouded by this dread. And there you see, as the trees open, the outline of a small village. And as you walk out of the mist, we now see, or let us now see, who stands before us.
I think what I'll do is change. I'll go back. You guys have been walking across these plains, and even though it's never really day, pretty much whenever you last rested, whenever you last were able to strike up a fire, sit around that kind of musty, wet marshland. As we open, what would we find? Who would we find there? Name them, describe them. What are they doing? And then let's have them talk to each other or not, and see who will be who will be tortured today.
Oh, we don't see you, Malcolm. Sorry.
I know. I that was purposeful.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
I was coming back. Every now and then I'll probably do that just to
I like it.
Kind of set scenes and stuff.
Cool.
Without seeing my corny face.
Lord mode.
So, okay. And it's been constantly like raining, so you're all a bit wet and it's uncomfortable. Well, who wants to start? Maybe Skork.
Fucking rain. Skag does this not always go this way?
And what does he look like, or he or she? What do we see?
Skrork has luxurious mane of black matted hair, almost like dreads, but not, because it's got bird piss and dung just from walking by and pigeon crap on me. Teeth are yellow and disgusting. And oh look. Hair gear. Look, I found another one. It's very good. This looks like dung beetle.
Oh, he shoves the insect into his mouth.
Yes, it's dung beetle.
when you look over to him to show him your finding, it's a scrawny, bald-headed, big-eared merchant. Yeah, he did well for himself in the town as a merchant, and in his rush to kind of leave with these omens that were happening, he took his wagon. So this wagon that you guys have been traveling with is his, and he was originally just traveling, pushing the wagon himself because he didn't have the donkey. But he took everything from his store. So there's a bunch of like random goods and supplies on this wagon, and he's very protective of it. Looking over him, his eyes look like glass eyes because he does have cataracts that are forming, and so sometimes in the night, if you look at him, it looks like glowing eyes staring back at you, like cataracts.
Awful.
And he's constantly has chewing tobacco. So occasionally there's like the black dribble from his mouth, and he's constantly like coughing and snorting phlegm.
Ugh.
So yeah, he's like, so as Skork shows him that eating that dung beetle, Helger looks over just like, and then he spits out, and he's like, disgusting. And he thinks to himself, why am I with these fools? Like this disgusting creature. And he looks over at the other two to see what they make of Skork's behavior.
What do we see of the other two?
It's Geg. Geg is bald, fairly thin as well, but wearing like furs, like random furs, rabbit furs and things he's found to create armor with. He has tattoos, like blasphemous, weird sigil tattoos all over his face and body, and he has scars all over his arms. He can't use a blade without testing it on his own flesh. And he's always like looking around, quite paranoid.
And by him you see Fenris, who's a very pale, sickly pale looking guy. You look at his face, paleness, but there's this stark contrast with this reddish nose, swollen, and he's constantly sniffing, like kind of like he's got coke bloat. But this robe, torn like matty robe, and he's pulling a donkey with him, a mule that's just also kind of sickly, whom he calls Gunther. And then every now and then in this dark robe, you'll see this very pale whitish skull that will pop out, and he'll just start whispering to it. And he calls it Sven. And he'll look at the others and kind of, look at them kind of strangely and start whispering to the skull, looking back at them, kind of like he's talking about them behind their backs to the skull. And every now and then he'll just go, "Shut up!" like that, or something. He'll yell something out in the air, like someone's there tormenting him or talking to him.
And there we have our cursed group sitting here, maybe having finished a swig or a ration, preparing for the next nightmarish trek that the not really a dawn, but that just the shift in lighting may hold. I would say like the worst it ever gets is it gets a reddish hue in the sky, like as though the sun is about to come up, but it never comes over that horizon, and then it'll drop to like a pitch black night. And so you're waiting for that because that allows you to actually see and trek through the day. Is there anything being said before they turn in or wake up to move on? Anything else being shared?
Well, I don't really think that we should go into town with all of us together. Might draw some attention.
I like that idea. You know, we could go separate ways. But food is going to be scarce, and the donkey's looking really good.
That's true.
And he just kind of finishes the last of that dung beetle, just kind of pops it in his mouth, and a little bit of the bug intestines kind of squirt out and just kind of dribble. That's the stuff right there. That is the best part right there.
And you see Fenris, like the skull reappears out of the cloak. He starts talking to him again, and he kind of awkwardly looks over to the group and says, "We don't want to draw attention, but safety in numbers. Safety in numbers. Maybe safety in numbers."
Well, I, for one, think that I do not want to spend another night in the rain.
Well, if we put all of our heads together, we get 5 heads, no? Fenris, No? No? Too soon?
Well, 6. There's Gunther too.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I agree. Let's get out of the rain.
And so, go ahead.
Good.
And so, kind of as he says, as Fenris is, let's get out of the rain. You know, we kind of pass. Camera pans up, away from the little, that little small light in this vast darkness, cast by a little flickering flame that will hardly even stays. You constantly have to keep trying to start because of the pouring. Eventually it goes out, and that's how we transition our evening. In that morning hour that is still very drudgery and reddish and gray and mist all around you, you are all walking, and then kind of constantly pulling the donkey. Every now and then it steps in mud, gets stuck, and you gotta get it out, and the wagon constantly jams. And eventually, like I said, through that mist you see you walk through for about an hour. There's a moment where you see the forest line, and you walk through like a road that leads through forest, tall, very black, mostly dead trees, a few that are still alive, and you come to an opening where you see a village standing before you. The town gates are wide open, and what constitutes is for not much of a walled, piked wall that goes around the entire place. And you can see some of the tops of the homes over the from maybe the slope of the valley or the slope of the road as you're coming in. The strange thing, though, is that the trees here are withered, and even the wall has black vines that seem to have kind of grabbed and clung, has a vice grip on the town. As you get closer, those vines seem to have a shimmer to them. They are also next to the opening that leads further in. You see a broken cart there on the right side of the gate, and you hear the constant annoying caw, 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 caw of crows that are kind of nesting all over the wall, or in between the archways of the gate. The wooden gates seem a bit rotted and old. Outside of that, as you look closer, there are about 5 of these crows, and every now and then when they caw, as their beak opens, their face also splits, kind of like pulls, and it's like a black ooey goo inside, as well as the innards of the sides of their heads, as though they're cawing out of a split face. They kind of like flutter from side to side and seem to be looking down on you all. From where the gate is, you peering inside, you can see that there is a road that goes directly down the center into the mist, and directly straight ahead there appears most of the game tonight is going to be theater of the mind, so I'll give you pathways and options, and so you can see directly down that path, maybe 100 yards or so, through the dead old cottages. There seems to be like maybe a town square there, and then, but it's also beyond a mist line. To your left, directly to your left, going down, if you look over, slightly obscured by fog, but you do see, appears to be like looks like the shape of a tavern, and a little bit of smoke billowing from that area. So there's definitely someone's could be there. And then directly to your right, two roads splitting, forking, one going to the left, one to the right, but still going off to your right. Just two roads that lead further into the mist and into the cottages, and you can't really quite see where those go. But four separate roads, and I will turn it back over to the party.
Upon seeing those birds, Helgar would have just been like, "Ill omen, those creatures," and spit on the floor.
I agree, Sven. They're hideous. Do you think that maybe the tavern, or what do you think? Sven agrees. Sven agrees.
Yeah, I agree with Sven for once. I think anywhere to be inside. I'm sick of this, and it's ruining my scrolls.
You love, go ahead. I'll come in behind you.
Yeah. Have a presence check from everyone.
Five.
Okay.
It's a D6, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And you're looking for a 12, a difficulty rating. So for
it's a D20, Eric.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Oh yeah, D20.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I was like, 12. Oh, okay.
I meant like the difficulty is a 12 that you need to, is what I'm looking for, is a 12 that you need to.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
No, you're good. 14.
Okay. And so 15 for Skeg?
16.
16. And so Skeg and Fenris those birds begin to continue, cawing, and you pick up in their voice, it almost sounds as though you can understand what and as they're looking down you, they say, all will be cleaved. All will be cleaved. And that's what you two are able to make out. And it almost feels, specifically for you, Skeg, it feels like one particular bird is taunting you. And you notice that out of its chest, that one bird that's cawing has a rat tail and two rat hands coming out of its chest. And they all kind of, every now and then, there seems to be little black droplets like where bird dung would be, but it's actually like little drops of black ichor or ooze that has that shimmery texture to those vines that continues to spatter down onto the ground past the walkway. And of course, your roads options are still ahead of you. Left leads to a tavern or it could be like a tavern off in the distance with a smoke billowing. Directly ahead leads to what might be the town square. It seems to be blackened, but from what you can see, the town square seems to be darker than everywhere else. And then there's just these two roads forking off to the right.
I think we're heading to the tavern, according to Fenris and Helgar's suggestion.
Yeah. Mind the crows.
And so, beginning on down and The rain is lightened up today. It's not as soggy and even almost just seems to be a bit of a drizzle. Um, and After walking for what is only about 5 minutes, you get closer to um, an area where you see um, there appears to be right ahead of you, off to the side, a few, one little shack here, another here, and then directly ahead, a larger place that looks to be a tavern inn. The old sign that's swinging is so aged and kind of not aged or whatever. There's like black vines that have kind of wrapped around it and broken it, and you can't even see what it was called at one time. The chimney is not what's smoking out in the kind of like courtyard area of this section of the town. There appears to be a fire pit that was recently used. Rain has put it out, and so it's just kind of smoking in the air. And you hear something clink, like knock over. Someone moves inside the front door area. You see a shadow move by um, in the tavern.
No
And they're like
details though.
kind of a of the tavern. Humanoid like could have been. Uh, the doors are almost saloon style, and so you can't really see much farther. And there are two on a porch area, two small windows on either side, and you don't see anything in those windows without taking a closer look inside. In addition to all of this, where you're standing, to your right, there are because now you've gone left, and now to your right are two more roads that lead deeper into the town. One probably looks like it banks backwards, like that. There's another road that probably leads to the center of town, the town square, and another one that forks off to the left that continues to go outward down a pathway. And you can see far at the end of that pathway that it appears to be a ton of that growth, like brambles. A ton of growth has taken maybe a couple blocks away, has consumed part of the city or part of the town or the village. Um, Back to you all.
Did you did you all see that? Sven saw it.
Oh, what did you see?
Someone, something in the tavern, like like
Well, obviously, a shopkeep has to keep business going.
right.
Finris, can you give me a presence check?
Presents, sure. Oh, 50. Nice.
So you hear that, like that you can sense the tightening of a bow string, and then from the window that is left to the doorway, you see that shadow figure that moved very quickly, notch and say, "Stop where you are! Don't come any closer."
He's got an arrow.
Does he have a fucking bow too?
We're not.
Sven, he goes like this with Sven, opening the jaw, and he kind of speaks, kind of like a ventriloquist.
Yeah,
He's got a fucking bow too.
and he's saying that to who?
Responding to a squirk. Yeah.
What he was saying. And the guy, the whoever's behind the bow, kind of, you see him whispering as though to someone beside him.
Elgar is putting his hands up, just like surrendering immediately.
Are you stained? Are you stained?
Like, did we shit our pants? Like, is that what you mean by stained? But then yes, it's been a long time.
There should be black markings on your skin. Dark purplish. No.
Elgar wipes the black stuff from his tobacco from his mouth.
And so you hear the bow kind of go up, and slowly two men, one about maybe six, a little bit tall, 6'1", and then another shorter fellow who has that bow. They kind of stand there. They're wearing kind of leather, basic armor, and one of them has kind of a bit of a wolf pelt over that's blackened, maybe stained from blood. They both wear hoods. one of the fellows, the one who has who's a little bit taller, has a boil on his face, and the other is missing a few teeth. And the one who's talking is the shorter one who had the bow. And he goes, "We have to be safe. What are you from the village?"
Farther than that, we just traveling, and we need we need lodgings for the night. We're
Lodging.
wet. We're wet, and yeah.
We're moving out. You can take whatever shit is left behind us, but we're going to kill this fucking beast and make good money. Don't follow us because we don't need you bumbling our path. This place is deadly. And he starts to step down the front. The second fellow kind of says, "Pardon my friend Theros here. I am Brent Torval. We are a little jumpy, but from the looks of it, we're probably not much. You don't look like you're town folk, so you seem pretty well equipped. This place has been ransacked, but it is one of the few buildings in this town that doesn't have the growth." And he kind of points down the way at the bramble and points at some of the houses where you can see the vines kind of like running along the chimneys. "Don't touch that shit. If it gets on your skin, it'll be stained."
So Skrork sees the little ones. He's, "You little friend, come here. I'd like to show you something." And when he gets close enough,
First of all, I don't know if he wants to. He doesn't move. His bow, he kind of like stands a bit because he's a bit jumpy, the shorter one. So are you're trying to convince him to come a little closer?
Come closer. I want to ask a question. It's no problem, you know. You've been in the tavern a long time, right? So I just want to know something.
Give me a presence check.
13.
All right. So he looks at his friend, and Torval looks down at him and goes, I got you. He kind of mumbles, "I got you back." And so he comes within 6 or 7 feet of you. What is it?
I want to know. You've been there a long time, right? So are there any bugs?
We've only been here one day. We were here a night before. We're moving out now, but coming in, we went up the middle of the street there, and we doubled back. It looked like they had burned. Someone is setting up shop there, and they've burned out most of the village. We went down the other way, and empty homes. But we've just been watching this growth, and some of the animals we've come across. We came across some dogs. Unpleasant sight. I was able to put an arrow in one's face, and it ran away. The others doubled back. So we're just trying to stay safe. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm not really listening. What was your question again?
Yeah, I just want to know if there's bugs.
There's plenty of fucking bugs, but not
That's
the,
all I want.
not the
That's
good
all.
type.
Bug is bug. It's good.
Bug.
It's protein.
He looks back at Torval. Bug is a bug. Yeah, you're gonna eat one of these fucking bugs, right? You have at it. You go ahead. We'll be on our way then. And they start to kind of move past you and head up that road towards the bramble. Unless there's anything else you guys are asking of them, they kind of continue to move.
What is the stain that you mentioned?
Well, it we went up the main road. There was a body of a young man, and it seemed to have markings, dark and unnatural. It seemed to kind of shimmer. Whatever it is, I don't know what it does, but I'm not willing to touch it. And I can't help but realize that as we look further on down that road, whoever burned out the center of town probably did it to get rid of whatever plague this is here.
And
We are
Hugger-
hunting the beast that we believe creates the plague.
Helgar returned to the group and is like, I don't know about staying in a plague village. I think the rain is better than the plague.
I say we fucking kill them.
Kill them? And it points like towards his chest, like.
Yeah, I mean, the little one pulled out a bow and arrow on Fenris. I mean, he's got to go. And the big one, he's just helping the little one, so we get rid of them, we take what they have.
Sven is getting tired of your shit.
And they don't hear this because, yes, they're starting to walk away, so they don't hear Skork threatening to end them. And they could be, I mean, you probably could sneak up or ambush them because get the drop on them, but if you'd like to.
What if they scream out?
What was
We'll
that?
make attention.
You guys like that voice?
Well, it's just the sound. It's hard to hear.
No, I like it. It's just that I can't.
I like it
it's
too.
hard to
I like
make
it
out.
too.
Yeah, I like the voice. I just couldn't
I like
make out
it.
what he said.
Yeah. It suits the name Skeg, I'll say that.
Skrog would go along with whatever Skreg said.
Hugger starts questioning himself. He's like, I can't see, I can't hear. Like,
What
Hello.
if they call attention to us?
Sven says we take our chances in there. There's no one in there.
He just raises his shield up and peers around cowardly.
What a motley crew.
Skrork just reaches into his pocket and pulls out another bug and just... Alright, we don't kill them this time.
well, if we're staying here, maybe we should find a place for the donkey and the wagon.
I guess we. All right, let's do that first.
So, yeah, I
There's
guess
like a horse trough. There's probably there behind the tavern. You can see you spot a like a little small horse stable that you could take the donkey as well.
Okay.
And as you were even walking around the sides, the windows are like the shutters are all open and kind of broken. There's a kind of a draft running through that place. You can see inside where there was a little bar area and a couple like tables. Everything's in disarray, broken, and there's a few bottles, a couple dark colored ones that could have, something to drink, or maybe there's food in there. But for the most part, it looks like a ruined tavern.
is the trough, is it covered? Or-
Like there's a little like awning over it if you wanted
Okay.
to just sit him under there versus taking him to the horse stable. If that's
Okay.
he
I
would
was
be out of
thinking
the
of, like, there's
or
scummy
it would be
water.
out of the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because like in my wagon, I have 2 sacks of lard, and so I didn't want to leave that out. Yeah, that's the thing you could buy. I used all my money on nonsense merchant stuff.
Yeah, the sacks of lard is just
Yeah.
counts as rations. Just
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy getting this book when it arrives.
oh man,
Yeah. Oh,
It's,
100%.
it's so much fun.
So like as we park the donkey and the wagon under the awning, I'll grab like a sack of the lard, and I'll like turn around and try to give it to Skork, but then like, don't get your bugs in this.
No. I've got it. And he puts it under like his coat, as it's that way it doesn't get all nasty and gelatinous.
Yeah.
More than it is already.
Yeah, it's like seeping out of the bag, like out through the.
Yeah, and then I'll grab the other one and walk into the tavern.
So you kind of like walk in, look around. It's dark, shadows cast everywhere from the little bit of light that comes through. What are you just looking at? That's all you really see. You see behind the bar area. There's some stairs that go up to where a little overhang where there looks like there could be like, I think a total of maybe 4 rooms on the top floor with a little balcony to look down on you. But other than that, like he said before, this place seems to be untouched. The growth hasn't made it inside of the building. Would you like to, as you look around, you can give me, I guess would be another presence check. See if you find anything.
12.
12. Okay, we'll go with. So as Skork, you look around, you find a bottle that's still corked. It looks, I mean, it's not corked. It's open, like somebody just recorked it. And with your 12, as you, I don't know, do you look at it or?
He'll like guess try and see if the top is
Pops right off.
Jiggle it. Yeah.
And it smells like a heavily fermented dark wine. But it also smells a little bit, maybe with you being good at bugs and stuff, around the edge it also smells like someone's saliva dried. Someone's definitely been taking swigs. Just put it back up and left it. But it's drinkable.
Seeing, what are you gonna do, Skork? Sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
Who's gonna turn around and be like, I think the assholes that just left, I think they drink this, but
and as you spin around, your hand hits another little small bottle, and it tips over and shatters on the ground. And as you're holding, you look down. The one that just broke was empty, dark, like a greenish, darkish bottle, but inside it's a little letter rolled up.
Hey Helgir, take this.
Grab the bottle.
It's good. It just you might want to take what is it called, waterfall.
And Tugger, so we'll look, and he's like, "Yeah, you just don't understand varietals," and we'll just take a swig.
All of a sudden, you hear the sniffing just really loud, like, can I say that real quick? Just
it's like, well, maybe it wasn't a good vintage. He'll pass it to Fenris.
And I guess Skork will just lean down and pick up whatever the letter was.
Yeah. So as you unroll it or look at it, it's you can't tell how long it's been here, but it's probably fresh and not. I mean, like it's hasn't been. It's not like super aged. The paper's a little brittle, but as you unroll it, it just strangely says it's pretty much like a prayer, and it says, "Oh, double-headed dark one, please bless this, bless the foundations of this tavern. Keep us from the horned giant that comes to sacrifice us." And then it says it chooses several a day. Some are sacrificed, others are spared. And it says, "But oh please," it kind of repeats the script back, and "please protect this foundation." And then it's almost like it might have been some kind of like blessing over the tavern.
Oh shit. Hey guys, we may have to take watch. There's some kind of horny giant that wants to spear us.
Horny giant.
That's why I said this. I'm not too good at the reading, but maybe Skag, you want to read too. But that's what it looks like. Horny giant going to spear us.
I don't think I want to stay here.
It's rain, man. Like, where we're supposed to go?
Fenris is listening, but every now and then he'll, his skull would disappear in his cloak, and then the bottle would reappear in its place, and he'd take a quick little swig.
And just like that, it seems out of nowhere, you realize the rain has finally stopped for the moment. You can just hear the wind outside.
Was that supposed to happen?
Yeah, it's really creepy.
What is?
Fenris, the rain stopped.
Fen doesn't hear anything. Oh. Right. Doesn't hear anything.
Look over at Skag and Skork and kind of like shrug and roll my eyes at Fenris and his head, skeleton head. Like, this guy.
Do we? Is there a window we can look?
Yeah, there's those two windows at the front. There's a couple windows on the upper level too, but right beside the front doorway.
Yeah.
It's easy to look out the windows and see what's going on outside for sure.
Sven's gonna take a look. Here, what do you see? So we go take a look.
Okay.
See it.
And so as you're looking out the window, it's quiet out there. It's eerie, and there's that mist kind of rolling over the village, and you can see some of the rooftops off in the distance. And of course, down that straightaway, you can see the brambles, and those two characters that went off have disappeared. And then there's the road back of which you came, and that's all you see. And then you look a little further, and from down that road where the brambles are coming from, you see a couple of dogs sniffing around, and they look mangy, and they're kind of dripping a bit of like black ichor off of them, and they're as they move, their skin kind of makes a sound like it's crackling. They kind of dart, and one of the dogs looks out like it's looking directly at you, Fenris, but you realize that momentarily it can't see you through the window. It's quite through the dark, and you see that it has an arrow sticking out of its eye, like out of one eye is an arrow, and then you realize it's bleeding the other eye. You can see, a dog, like when a dog's eye is fully dilated, it just almost looks like a glossy black. You can see that, and this dog is maybe 60 feet away from the tavern. It's kind of sniffing around, and around that black shiny eye are like where the eyelids where I would have eyelids are teeth. Human teeth, like little tiny chickly human teeth. So when it blinks, it's a mouth.
Well, that's yeah, that's not good.
That's not good.
Dog continues to sniff around.
I don't remember seeing teeth in the eyes of a dog before.
Did we shut the door?
Did we?
It's
Quietly close it. Yeah.
It's a saloon, right? So it's like, is it like a?
Oh, it's a saloon.
Does it?
Yes, let's go saloon.
Yeah.
And as it's starting to walk towards something,
Like the
there's like some barking down the way behind it. That other dog barks back at it, and they go diving, and they rush towards the brambles and kind of disappear farther down that way.
Okay. Well, they're gone for the moment. They went.
You can hear them off in the distance.
Jag is gonna set up the bear trap leading the doorway.
Okay.
That's there. Yeah.
So are you guys planning to maybe an extended stay here right now? You guys planning to kind of camp out here for a while? Is that what we're...
He's just
What do you
scared.
think?
Yeah, of course. No, I get.
What do you think?
Everything you're
Helger?
doing makes sense. I'm just kind of asking more questions.
no,
to
sure,
better
sure.
understand. Yeah.
What do you think, Helgar? Sven wants to know.
Maybe those dogs didn't seem. I mean, what looks correct now, but maybe we should bring the donkey inside. I
Alright.
don't. But I've heard
Okay.
stories that if you take a donkey up the stairs, you can't bring them down the stairs. So I'm not sure.
I mean, we've all heard about Donkey Show too, so I mean, that doesn't mean much, you know. So
Well, the donkey can stay down here.
Yeah.
That's fine.
we
What's
said
that now?
Skig set a bear trap. Like we put, I'll put some of my food in the bear trap, and we kill dog. If not, and he pulls out his warhammer, we squash heads with this.
All right. Well, let's bring the donkey in first, and then we'll.
So you're bringing the donkey inside the front door.
J-
Okay.
That's food.
Yeah, I get
And
it.
as far as I'm concerned,
Well, that's also Helger not having to carry the wagon. So
Can I get a?
this is hilarious.
No. So here's the thing: depending on how you do it, if you're trying to do an animal hit,
Yeah, I know. I see what you're
presence
saying.
check, or if you're going to use some force and kind of you're willing to abuse this animal, you probably have to use like toughness or strength to get it to move, because the donkey's being really stubborn. It doesn't want to go up the steps and try to go into this place.
can I grab like a handful of lard to like entice it?
Yes.
Gunther, get your
And
ass
so
over here.
suddenly, as you do that, even without checking, as you start to feed the lard to the, and you step back and you feed it some more, it follows you all the way inside.
Ooh, smart Helger. Smart.
Helger, don't forget to sing ancient donkey song to it while it comes in. It gives us great luck.
Is the bear trap still set at the front door behind the two swinging, or
So hard. It's just set up.
it's just set up? Okay. So I take it. I'm gonna assume you moved it out of the way.
Oh, yeah. I would. Yeah, I would have done it if he didn't. Yeah, I thought he did. I'm
I
sorry.
almost just wanted to just be like, "Oh man, you set your own trap and killed your dog." I don't
That's
think.
hilarious. All right, Skig. Now put in. Takes it.
Put it back now. Later now.
Now that we have the donkey in, yes.
Yeah.
And then he takes another swig.
The donkey finally settles down.
Gunther, shut up.
Are you guys lighting? Are you guys lighting any torches or anything like that? Torches add presence, so they do.
Yeah.
So they add presence for the monsters, right? So.
Right, that's what I would
if you guys
assume.
are just kind of sitting in the dark. It's fine.
I mean, I do have the torches, guys, so.
Shelter, shelter.
Are we staying the night, or should someone do like a round?
Is it the evening?
No, it's like you got up,
okay.
probably traveled half the day and you made it here halfway through. So you probably got another 6 hours before it gets really dark. Like before it gets like night, right? It's like it's what you see behind me right now. It feels like
Yeah,
night,
okay.
but it's still, you can see all the shadows. You can make things out from a distance.
Gloomy, yeah.
It's just gloomy.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be darker at night. Maybe keep the donkey in here, and then we maybe. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Helger? You seem to be the smart one around here.
Skrork is going to ask Fenris to just ask Sven, because Skrork knows Sven is going to answer anyway.
And you notice that just Fenris just stubbornly just kind of looks away. Doesn't the skull doesn't emerge?
Okay, Skrork is going to turn back on Fenris so you can talk to Sven.
He's weird. He's weird. Helger, what do you think? Should we look around or?
Well, I read this book once where it said you have to know your enemy. So maybe we should know what this. What did he say?
And now I also know sorry to cut you off, but I also know that we all assume that, just like anything, you walk into a dungeon, you expect to be there for a reason. But these characters, I heard someone say when you first walked in, like, why would we want to stay in this village? That's also an option, is just to fucking leave it, right? Like,
Yeah.
just putting that on the table. So go ahead, back to you.
I know.
Olga.
Yeah.
I guess me assuming it was near the evening, which I shouldn't have done, but that's why.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay. That's my.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. Totally. Go ahead. No, sorry.
So I mean, they said there's. Well, I don't know. They said there's the stain, and then Skork said there's horny giant. And look, we were already in one royal family orgy once. I don't know about. I'm tired. I don't.
Can I get a toughness check from everyone?
Oh, okay.
That's the only stat I have positive stats on.
Or
I have a 4 also.
16.
Ooh.
10.
I have a +2 to toughness,
So Finn,
despite the alcohol.
so
Makes you
suddenly, all of you, including Fenris,
Oh.
suddenly have a vision, and it comes to you very very quickly, and it's in momentarily. But I want to go around, and maybe it's your worst fear, maybe it's something prophetic, like something's going to happen to you. But starting with anyone, I don't want to actually put anybody on the spot, but we're going to start. I just want you to kind of share maybe something that would terrify your character, or that would unsettle them. Maybe might not even scare them. It just might unsettle them. Something that they might see in this moment in their mind, like that. Doesn't have to be super long. It can be long if you want. It can be part of your backstory or something like that. And I'm
So
putting you on the spot.
Skork sees going up to the brambles that are around there, and with his left hand kind of touching them finally, and then as he does that, he sees his fingers, Nightmare on Elm Street, start to turn into roach carapace, and it just starts to shrink down, and he has the whole arm just starts to turn into tiny insect.
Nice. And
appendage.
so his arm turns into insects. Yeah. And so as it does, he's watching it, wondering whether he should be afraid or eat it. The insects start to fall away. Before they can scatter on the ground, he looks down. His arm is now fallen to a pile of bugs. Two hands scoop up the bugs out of the bramble. Two human hands, but they're dark and oily. Two arms. Are holding out the bugs and bringing them up to the brambles, to something hiding behind the tree line or the bramble line, as though to bring him up. And he's watching as his arm is off, as these things brings it into the shadow, and he can see two yellow eyes staring back at him as something is eating what was his arm. And then he wakes, or he's standing there in the room watching everybody else kind of trip out for a second. And
so I think Helger would see. I guess if we're gonna visualize it, looking into the brambles, out of the brambles comes out this person with kind of how you have that black eyeliner over your face.
Yeah.
And it's it's not it's not someone he can identify. He recognizes the face, but he knows that it's a debt collector. And so that right, and so that debt collector, what happens?
That's scary.
Yeah,
It
totally. Right. And so as a debt collector comes out of the brambles, the face kind of that person's head expands, and it gets heavy and falls to the ground, and the body turns to a snake, but the head starts coming towards him, kind of like Pac-Man, Marco,
Yeah.
Marco, like that, but headed, but with jagged teeth coming slowly towards the inn where he's staying at, he's coming from me,
Yeah.
this debt collector. And then
suddenly it's like you're standing there, you can know it's coming down that road, and then suddenly he finds himself out in the street. He looks back, he's not in the tavern, he's no safety, and he kind of goes to try to turn, but it's too late. That head, the two fangs dig into his belly, and they start to inject whatever venom is running into Helgir, and it's so painful, and he starts to expand and bloat. His skin starts to bulge. his shirt kind of tears open. We see his stomach writhing, and then he explodes into like blood and guts. But out pops all just coins, just silver coins, just pour out of his corpse, and then he is back there in and instead of, and when he explodes, that head is no longer there, and instead for a moment there is something standing behind the tree line with large horns reaching up towards the sky.
Like his reaction to like that would be first checking his stomach to make sure it's like good, but then he'll check his pockets to make sure the money's still there too.
Still jingles.
Yeah.
Greg will, his vision will be of a memory of him being bound to a stone table, and the laughter of both male and female heretical priests as they, like old school Polynesian style, tattoo sizzle onto his face, but just slow and agonizing.
Wow. So they continue to carve these markings, and he's face down or face up?
Bound like face up.
Face up. And so as he's kind of taking this in pain and almost going into shock, he feels two hands caress the side of his face, holding his head back as he feels them carving into him. And he sees something loom over out of the darkness, those two yellow eyes looking down on him. And then those clawed, five-fingered hands roll over his face and then start to carve into his face some sigil or image that he can't see. And then they slowly back away. And the last thing it does is it marks his forehead. And so when you wake up, for a moment, it's not there, but there's a lingering feeling of that last mark made on your head, even though it's not there. It just feels like it was real. And then Fenris, you are...
Fenris remembers a local baron who murdered his wife, and Fenris took the blame. And in front of everyone, he sees the baron, this person in like this crown, kind of silhouette, but then he comes forth and there's a skull instead of like a person. And then the jaw moves, the skull, and it says, "Rack him." And and Fenris is hood up on the rack, and then the torturers like pull in the thing, and you hear the muscles and the bones stretch. And of course, but the skull looks like a Sven, has the same markings and blemishes and stuff. And at first he's focusing just on the pure hatred of royalty, authority, and then but then all of a sudden the pain kicks in, and he forgets the skull that's in front of him, the baron in front of him, as the muscles and bones break.
And as they break and pop and pull, suddenly he closes his eyes, and there he hears a great wailing and gnashing of teeth and screaming all over. When he opens his life, that entire court is dead. The king's crown, or whoever the ruler, is like fallen to the floor, and he is released, and he falls kind of prostrate off of the contraption, broken and still bloodied, and his arm still not working. And when you barely look up, Fenris can see 3 spikes in front of him. They weren't there before. And Helgir is on one, Skag is on one, impaled all the way through, and Skrork is on one. And there is a silhouette of something, almost looks like it could be in the darkness beyond it's foggy. Could be someone mounted on a horse, a human of some type. You can see 2 yellow eyes from the horse, and you can see 2 large, almost like antler-like horns. And where the eyes would be are 2 those arms, like almost look like they're out, like in, like offering to him. And they just, and they look at him with their hands out. And then almost Give me a presence check here in this vision.
Presence, okay. $19.
Nice. And so he hears a whisper. He hears whatever this thing is very audibly say, "Bow and worship." Bow. And he's back, and it's over.
And Fenrir's, looks at his companions, and he stops and immediately pulls out the skull and just looks at it for a moment. Anyway, and he finally, the skull disappears and he gets back up. What was that?
That was something.
Well, I told you, giant wants to impale us.
Impale? Sven. I saw all of you impaled. Sven.
Yeah, and all of you saw yours. You all didn't share them, right? So unless you're sharing them right now.
I'm sharing them now, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I was just making sure, like...
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Skrork, like that, my arm turned into bugs and I tried to eat it and something tried to eat my arm instead from the brambles. It's got yellow eyes.
Yellow eyes. I was here, all of a sudden I wasn't, and yes, I saw yellow, well... Did I see yellow eyes and then the hands came out of it?
Yeah, the yellow eyes, and then
okay.
So the yellow eyes in a form like it could have been a human on a horse, but you can't see any definition of it. It's a silhouette.
Right. So I'll describe that.
And then those hands out and those antlers going up.
I was like, so I described that to him, and it was real. It was so real. It was. I look around. Is there anything out of the ordinary that, other than the place is a shithole?
As you look around, Fenris, you're the first to notice that the front door, one of the dogs is in the bear trap. You never heard it go off, and the neck is broken. One of the eyes is like bulged out. It's not the one with the arrow in it, but it's another one of those dogs, and it is dead. Almost like during the moment you guys had the vision, maybe it was trying to come in, and it was killed.
We didn't even hear that, but Skeg, you got one.
I'm hungry.
Does it have the teeth in the eyes or anything?
The teeth are the eyes, and so whatever was eyes there have boiled away or running out like black, and it's just those.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
Mouthy things left. Yeah, it's.
It's got baby teeth.
Yeah, it's
opening up that bear trap. Happiest can be.
Okay, so I definitely think we should go.
I think so too. I think Helger has point. Let's get Donkey. Let's get the ass out of here.
Okay, but there was another dog. I saw two, so let's be cautious.
Okay, so notch arrow in your bow or crossbow, whatever the hell you have.
That's good food.
I mean, we can bring dog. It is dead,
right?
Let's
go.
Do you guys need me to describe the paths that are available to you again, or do you kind of have an idea? There's one that looks like it leads. One leads back towards the town gate. One leads further into the bramble. One leads towards the center of the town.
So, I mean, this is assuming that we've loaded up the donkey and the wagon and everything, right?
Are you guys taking that all with you?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, so I thought maybe you might be searching around the town and coming back for the donkey, but that makes sense. After loading the donkey...
This place is cursed.
So you've been there for...
We're good, we're out.
Yeah, you've been there for like 40 minutes, and you guys are like, no.
Okay, so we got time.
We're
good. It's like the house of Amity Horror. We're just like, we're out of here.
Nah, we're good.
Yeah.
Ski you guys, we go ahead.
We've literally seen enough, right? In this game. So the option, yeah, there was one way towards the bramble, which is where those two guys just went,
Mhm.
and then there was the town square, which would maybe cut through town, right?
Yeah, it cuts like
And-
straight through. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like another way that splits up into another fork.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean to interrupt. I'm so sorry, but DM, did those two guys? What did they say? We want to kill the beast, the devil. What was the
They
worst
want to
word?
kill
Mhm.
the beast.
The beast.
Yeah,
It was a
no one
beast.
asked. No one really asked too much more about
I
it.
didn't think about that until after. Yeah. Oh well. Okay.
Lessons
All
learned.
Yeah.
We can
Alright.
always go out the way we came and around the town.
We could.
Yeah, there's a lot of brambles, and I saw that horny demon thing.
Yes.
in the brambles. I think we should avoid that. Definitely.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, as much as I enjoy drilling royal family, I don't want to be drilled.
And Helger like pats down his stomach again.
Skork checks his arm just to make sure he's just like, okay, no, I'm not bug yet. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna double back out. Malcolm.
Okay.
Doubling back towards the front of the town.
Yeah.
So as you guys start to head off that way, a little cart kind of wheel kind of creaking, winds kind of blowing. You get back to the front town. Those crows are still there, and of course another. You look directly to your left as you're going. You're pretty much heading to your left or heading kind of eastward. You look what would be probably the north of the town. You can see down in the center of the town square, and then if you continue, because you say you're going to go around, right? So you can continue on down that way, or are we leaving out of the town gates?
Yeah, Skork said to leave town gates, which
And as we go by them, so there's brambles along the side of the gates, right?
No. There's no brambles. There's just the gateway.
It's just the gateway. Okay.
There's a bit of mist, of heavy fog hanging over where you came in. You can still see your wet footprints from walking in, where you would be walking right out into that night air. Those birds are still calling, and it's open.
Yeah.
So we get on cart and haul ass.
That's yeah. You notice as we're doing this, like Fenrir all of a sudden is not speaking to Sven like he was before. He's looking at it every now and then, but not speaking.
They're not speaking.
Not even addressing. Sven thinks we should do this or anything like that. Not
And
using his name.
As you begin to cross the threshold to leave the town, the minute you take a step outside of the village, you hear like something on four hooves, like a horse, is galloping through that mist towards you, and it sounds distant, and it gets louder and louder and louder, and at some point it breaks the fog line, and it's right there in front of you, just kind of standing, and it looks like it's at least 10 feet tall from the ground to the top, and you just see the two front hooves step out, and you see there's not a person riding it. It's almost like the head is something else, something long with two huge antlers going up to the ceiling, and two hands hanging down, and those yellow eyes looking at you, but it's still slightly obscured, and it fills you with a sense of dread. I need all of you to give me a toughness check.
Oh, 16.
It's good.
12.
13.
13.
12.
Nice. So if you rolled, you could probably convince your party. If you rolled over 15, then you were able to like overcome that moment of fear. And so I think the only person was Skork. And right now it's not like D&D where you have fear and for 1 minute you can't move forward. But I want the rest of you to realize that you feel like if I go out there, I could die. Squirk is the only one maybe that feels like, fuck that thing. I could like move it out of my way, or has the ability to continue forward. But you do understand as you look at your friends that they look terrified. I'll say that, Squirk, you understand that whatever's ahead of you, you kill it, you can fucking leave this village. But maybe there's another way, or maybe it's just killing it. That's up to you. And there's a moment to decide. The creature does not rush. It does not move past the fog line. And it's about, I'd say it's almost 100 feet away from you.
So, yeah, Skork is just gonna pull out his warhammer and he's gonna hold it and he's gonna look back and he's just like, fucking hit the donkey so we can ride the cart and get the hell out.
I think like his hands shaking. He's like, maybe we should go back to the inn and just sleep there.
And then the creature goes kind of like steps back, and you hear it gallop off to the. It gallops off to the left, where you're facing to its left, which would be the way you guys are facing your right. So like it might be heading around the walls, around the side to where you just came from. So like down towards where the tavern was.
Oh.
Go now. Slap the donkey ass.
So you guys are continuing forward? Or backing or doubling back into the village?
I say double back.
So so Malcolm, if we go back, but it looks like he's doing that too, right? Is that what
I'll actually share.
He's going around.
But that means if we go straight, we have to go through the mist, the fog.
Yes. So let me see if I can zoom in on this. What I'm using here. So I'll share my screen really.
Sure.
This is the first tabletop I've ever played that has metal playing at all.
So I won't share this for too long.
Sure.
See my screen here? So these are the front two gates, right? And the walls going onto the side. This is where you write. These are all the different ways inside. You guys are planning to leave and head out and just walk away. The thing was out here, and then it went that way, but it's outside of the walls. So it's out there with you right now, with where you're standing.
Okay, I see.
That's what it is.
Got it.
We could move forward, but it might. Clearly, that thing can outrun us. Hooves.
It's the horse.
Those guys mentioned there was someone who's trying to start a fire. Maybe that person's still alive and can help us. Or
do we know where?
Towards the town square, he said. Or maybe they can just distract the creature enough so that we can escape.
Use him as bait. Okay. Yeah. Unless you think going is the best way, but if not, yeah, I agree. He takes a quick swig as he starts to get a little more jittery and jumpy.
Skork is just like standing on the car, like if it's like a a chariot. He's ruthless, but he's also cowardly. But he's got the warhammer. He's just like, all right.
So we're heading towards the center of town. Okay.
I think so. To find another victim.
Have your weapons ready.
Howard, what's the approach? Describe for me down to the T, like how you guys approach the town square. So, like, if you were to just enter town square, how would you be approaching this?
In the cart. Skag is in the cart, pulled up, eyes barely above the shield.
I'm walking beside Gunther, the mule, and the donkey, and I, bolt in the crossbow. I have it ready, but not like out in case we cross someone who, he's got a weapon, they immediately shoot us. But it's
right,
ready.
Yeah.
I could pull it up if I need to.
You have it at the ready.
At the ready, exactly.
Concerned, just in case.
Ready, but not appearing threatening.
Okay.
And I guess I would be like driving the wagon.
And you're driving it, so it's your heart to kind of. So as that horse cart is kind of like, moving down, that little donkey is getting you closer. As you get closer to what you can see is up ahead, Actually, who's at the lead? Who's in the front? It's Fenris. Because
I mean, yeah, I'm
Greg is in the
beside
back. I mean, you all
Gunther, yeah.
are around, but you're probably who's
Yeah.
maybe taking like the who's like taking like the front of it, or all of you just kind of fanned out? Because I know that Hailgrig is on the riding, holding. It.
I'm by the donkey, so
By
I
the
might
donkey.
be in front. I might be.
Yeah.
I don't.
Because I'm on the cart.
Okay.
Oh, you do.
So then I want
Standing on the cart holding the warhammer.
Helgir and Fenris to give me a presence check,
Presence.
and I am going to roll against your presence.
Nice. I'm rolling well. 15.
Oh shit! You guys beat.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. What'd you get, Helger?
What is it? Presence, you said?
Yeah.
Presence.
I am the opposite of Fenris. I rolled a 5.
So, and it doesn't mean that you don't see. It just means that you're. It's about like how obvious. So what I look at it is this: is that your cart's making a lot of noise, Helger. So you realize when you see it, you try to stop the donkey, but you realize you probably made all that noise. For you, Fenris, you're probably able to be like stop him, be like quiet, because up ahead, what you see is as the mist starts to part, you're probably maybe about 60, 70 feet from where the town square opens up, and all the homes, everything around there in that circle is burned out. And you notice as you were getting closer, you saw it from the distance, but somebody has torched this entire area. And then right at the center, you see a woman like begging for her life, and two figures standing over, and one has a torch, and the one in a large robe with a interesting like metal crown up above drops the torch on her. She goes, "Please, no, I'm not stained. I'm not stained." And he goes, "I purify you from the fires of the two-headed basilisk, Veru and Gorg. Be purified." And he throws the fire on her. She begins to burn, and almost torches up. Her body starts to go over and fall over, and the two figures are standing there. And because of your high presence check, Fenris, what you can make out, you immediately understand these to be inquisitors, probably sent from the Church of the Two-Headed Basilisk to purify the evil or whatever it is in this town, and they are burning people that they catch. One of them looks like the one who's tall in a robe, who's just dropped not what I was looking for. Where's my imagery for him?
That's also terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh
he
my
seems to have
gosh.
like a metal mask over his face, and his helmetry goes up as though he's blind, but you can tell there are two slots, and he's looking, and he's watching her burn, so the light
Scary.
is flickering on his face. And the other one turns towards the sound of the cart with this warhammer in his hand, and kind of takes a couple steps forward and goes, "Whoever's there, step out of the mist."
And
What do you all do?
you
And
know
that's
this.
because he had a 20, so he heard
Oh.
you.
There you go. You. I don't know if you can see him because you're up on the cart, but you notice that Fenris just has this death gaze over in that direction. There's something about certain people's in higher positions that he, well, as we said, vindictive.
Yeah. Step out of the mist in the name
And-
of Veru and Gorg.
And Helgar also has a problem with authority figures, and so he'll just he'll yell out, "Can we ride out?"
Good one.
Hey, just so you know, we're on a donkey. It will be slow ride out.
It builds suspense.
No, you may not. And you can't see his face in this heavy metal mask.
So
Step
do you
out,
not want us?
or we will come get you and bring you forth.
It'll probably be faster because, like I said, we're on fucking donkey.
He begins to start. Clearly, he can't see you very well. You guys are still kind of in that mist.
Right.
He starts to start walking. He starts under heavy foot, just kind of, and he says,
I'd
"Hammer."
be careful if I were you.
And then, as you say that, the priest starts to kind of walk behind him very slowly with his hands out, and you can see that he's got scrolls pinned to his like in seals pinned, and they both are just kind of moving towards you. And you guys realize you could double back and run, but you're probably not going to be able to move fast enough with the donkey.
Oh yeah.
Or you
The
got to
cart.
stand your ground and confront them. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a fight, but they're coming for a confrontation with you.
Okay.
And there are a few seconds to react here, decide what you're going to do.
I'm gonna try to cast a spell, but I actually never rolled my how many times I can use my powers.
Okay, go for that.
Let me.
And what I'm going to do here is, as you cast that spell, after you cast the spell, I'm going to give us because you guys probably need a quick second to stretch your legs before we finish the story out. So we'll take like a 5 minute, and then we'll come back. Is everybody still good on time and everything right now?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I understand myself. Okay. Because I don't have any time right now. I'm good with you. This is fun.
It's my birthday's tomorrow, so
Oh,
I'm like, let's play as long as we
Happy
need
birthday.
to.
Good stuff. I'm good if you guys are. I just like to be respectful of your time. This isn't. Yeah.
I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cast the spell, and I'm looking for the name here. Well, I don't remember it, but anyways, so I need to. Let me see how it works. I need to do a presence check, and I need to roll a d.
So, and
so the one I'm
the priest or
casting, unclean scroll number 9.
Okay.
Eyelid blinds the wind. I guess. Is that
Okay,
what
so
it
you're probably one of those you can pick multiple.
So yeah, D4 creatures fall asleep for 1 hour unless they succeed a D14 test.
Okay, and
But before I do that, I need to roll to see if I even succeed on my power. So I'm gonna do my presence check, and that is a no. I got a 10. I got a 10 out of 12.
10 out of 12.
Is that guy close enough that I can swing the warhammer down on him, like on the top of his head?
Now,
He's not
technically, we
biased.
haven't gone an initiative, so you could try. You could prepare to try again, because there's a number. If you were going to try that again, but I'll say for now, you've used your turn, Helger, as you've tried to cast it.
Actually, what I'm gonna do, Malcolm, sorry, as I'm gonna use my omen to reduce the difficulty by 4,
Okay,
which would help me succeed.
got
That's
it.
cool.
Yeah.
And that would succeed. That would get you to succeed, right?
Yeah. So
And
then
then
I
get to make a test for presence.
Yeah,
or
so I'm
no.
gonna roll my d4 to see how many creatures are affected first.
Okay.
And then you roll, yeah.
Got it.
So I got 2. So
Oof, that's what
so-
you need.
yeah, so both those guys need to make a DR14 test.
So this is going to be the die presence test for Finras would know that the one who has the warhammer, the one behind me,
Yeah.
is called the teeth of the basilisk. Bronze die I'm going to roll. They are called the tongue of the basilisk.
Okay.
They travel in 2s typically, and they can see they've set up a little camp behind you, and they've just been torching parts of this town. And it's what do I need to hit for my presence?
14.
14. And so describe for me what it looks like as you're casting it. What do you say or would do if there's anything kind of fluff you want to add to that moment?
Yeah. So I'll take so my 2 scrolls, because I don't have a sack or anything, they're both kind of like jammed in my pocket, next to like my remaining coin.
Yeah.
And so I'll take out one and like realize it's the wrong one and like tuck it back in, and I'll take out the other one and like put it really close to my face so I can like make out the words and chant the words. Eyelid blinds the wind. And as it does that, like the letters on the scroll kind of like flash. As I read it, it's like a golden color,
Yeah.
and that gold kind of like pushes past the paper into it goes into their eyes.
Nice.
Yeah,
So-
the golden letters cover their eyes.
Wow. And so you see the scripts running across their face, and immediately the priest does some kind of weird symbols, like starts like speaking from under his mask. The teeth of the basilisk is not as good as he's kind of waving and like no, and he begins to cough, and they both are swaying for a second there as they step out of the mist. You're waiting for them to drop. Helger, you're waiting, and we will take our break there and come back.
Alright.
5 minutes, and we'll see what happens.
Oh man, I was about to. These
So as we jump
freaking
back
inquisitors.
in, they're wavering. Helgir is casting this spell of silencing these two inquisitors and putting them to sleep. And the tongue of the basilisk is trying to speak as quickly his spell against yours. But sure enough, first falls to his knee, but is holding his hammer down. God damn it! And then on his face, the teeth of the basilisk is down. And then it seems that tongue of the basilisk is fighting and preparing to cast his own spell. And the minute he lets off of trying to block you to kind of just say a word that will probably do something damaging, it catches him. His eyes kind of flutter, and he falls over side, and his cloak is kind of there down, billowing, and they are asleep. And you have averted a moment of bloodshed. What you do with them is your choice.
Nice.
That was impressive.
Yes.
Okay. Now can I squash somebody's head like melon?
Yeah, but before you do that, Fenris, grab the stuff from, check their pockets.
All right. Fenris cautiously approaches the sleeping bastards, and yeah.
I'll help him with the other body.
Okay, yeah. So come with me. All right, even better.
What are you doing to the bodies? Or?
He's gonna come. I'm gonna just see if they have anything. See what they have on them. He's gonna come with me. We're both gonna do it. So yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
You check over the bodies. What you find, actually, the teeth of the basilisk, the armored one, has something like that. Hold on a second here. So as you pull out of his pocket, you find that this bag, there's a scalp, long black hair, dried a scalp. There are, there's a pouch, about 20 silver pieces on him, and then on the tongue of the basilisk, there, he carries nothing of value in terms of coin. And the only thing you find is his parchment that opens up, and if you read through it, it pretty much is his order, and it says it talks about going to this town known as Cuts. And there pretty much just walks through the fact that they are supposed to burn anyone who are stained, who have the markings of the Belmere, and if they can find the Belmere, to weed it out, to burn it, and to destroy it. The giant antlered creature. It doesn't describe much more of it being that. Who's looking at which? Scrag was looking at one. Who would you say you're looking? Who's looking at the tongue of the basilisk? That would be Fenris. It sounds like it was Fenris, but I don't.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, but did it sound like he was the one barking the orders most?
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's definitely
then Fenris will definitely be looking at because
actually, right? No, the one who was actually the most spoken in terms of like, you guys come out of the fog, that was the teeth. That was the armored one. Who?
Okay.
So you'd be probably looking at him. Is that what?
Yeah.
So you're going over his stuff. Skag is going over, or Squirk? I know between who's going over the other one. Skag. You find that letter then on the downed old man. If you pull their helmets off, they're just, definitely just ugly old men. One of them, maybe the warrior, is probably middle-aged, and the other spellcaster is old and long, white beard tuft under his mask. that kind of death mask he was wearing. They have all the symbols you find, like their he has holy symbol around his neck of the double-headed, basilisk facing each other. But I'll let you role playing amongst each other. But I'm going to write you something, Skeg, because you can decide whether you share this with your party, because you're the one reading it, and I like to share a little bit more information with you and you alone, and you can decide whether to share that.
So as they're like looking over, Helger will look at Skork, because Skork, I'm imagining you're still on the wagon, yeah, like waiting, yeah.
You tell me which one. You tell me which one, Helga, or you want squash the head like grape, and I do.
The one with the big crown. I want to keep the crown, but I know that it's gonna be difficult to sell. So.
You want to pull it off them first, and then I squash it?
I think it'll be too hard to squash otherwise. But yes, that's the one that should go.
So Skork will jump down off the cart and start pulling the helm off of him, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that's the one that Skeg is with.
Is that the teeth?
The tongue.
Or the tongue?
I think.
Okay. No, Game Master, this is probably pushing it, but did he, with the priest, did we see all those scrolls on him? I mean, can we, or is that just for effect? Or can we look at him? Oh, I didn't hear you.
Muted.
No, that's actually a fair point. So what I'll say is I'll give you the scrolls that he had on him. It would only make sense. The Tongue of the Basilisk has, you find the scroll,
go through these.
Roscoe's Consuming Glare.
All right, we'll go through those.
He has Enochian Syntax.
Oh, you writing these down, Henry?
I was trying to find the page with the spells on. So what was it again? Sorry.
So he has Roscoe's Consuming Glare, Enochian's Syntax, and Grace for a Sinner. So Grace for a Sinner, from what I understand, is kind of like a blessing. You can bless somebody with a d6 to their roll. Enochian Syntax, if it works and they fail, you can make them do one action. And unlike D&D, you can make them harm themselves or fucking go jump off a bridge. Like that kind of thing. And Consuming Glare, forget what that one does. It does something, it does a bunch of damage to everybody, and like I think up to D4 creatures.
Yeah, D4 creatures lose a bunch of health, and then the other one.
And Doomlord, what would it take for me to pull the helmet off before I try and squish his head with the warhammer?
You take those, Helger.
All right. What would it take you to pull the helmet off? You can. It comes right off.
So he's gonna take it. So Skork he just pulls it off and then he tosses it up to Helger. There you go, my friend. And he's gonna put the warhammer in his hands and be like, okay, everybody want to stand back because this may get messy.
Yeah. And I'll throw the helmet down. I was like, no, I can't sell this, and then and spit on it.
Okay. Say that one more time. Because I was finishing up one more message. So back to you, Skork. Sure. What were you saying? What were you doing?
So Skork, he tossed the helmet to Helger, and then he's preparing his warhammer in both hands, and he's going to get ready to bring it down on the head. Turn it to melon.
Nothing happens. He can just do that. No test.
Yeah.
Crush it.
And
19.
Yeah, you crushed his head. I mean, he has nowhere to go. He couldn't move.
Nowhere to go.
Jesus.
This is very different than.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, nice. I mean, I rolled a 19, so that's cool.
No, it just melon just splatters all over the place, and the guy is donezo.
Fenris, who was just staring at Skork, what he just did, he looks at the priest, and
him too. Fenris.
A very morbid, because there's this glare to the point where he was staring, and this drool kind of comes down right here. He gets on the priest and literally puts his hands around the neck and just squeezes and squeezes and squeezes.
The priest's eyes begin to flutter, but the spell has him so deeply put under. It's almost like, if he was ODing, he can't fight through. He's like underwater, and you see him body naturally fighting, but he can't fight back. And then slowly but surely, he goes into the darkness.
And the paleness in Fenris's face briefly goes away as it turns red. There's something that's clearly bothered him in the past. Doesn't say a word. He gets up, kind of walks away.
As he does this, Skrork, right after you bashed his head, what parts of your, are any parts of your body like where we can see your skin? Or is it
just hands and face?
Hands and face. So Skrork, as you look at your hands, the arm that turned into bugs, you look as a little bit of a dark bluish color is creeping over your skin, like a blotch, a stain. And no one else sees that, but you realize it's there.
Okay, you guys have your fun. Let's get back so we can leave this town.
Helgir, you notice yours somehow, somewhere, your stain. Wherever it is, followed by Skreg, you notice your stain on your skin somewhere. And maybe in that moment you all try to not, whether it happens all immediately or within moments, you all don't necessarily, at this moment, haven't shared it with the others.
Yeah, so
did you mention me?
I did not.
Oh.
So when I when I tell you guys let's hurry up, you've had your fun, I'll reach down to grab the reins on the donkey, on Gunther, to continue pushing on the wagon, and I'll notice that my hands have that stain, and I'll look down at it and stare, kind of quick glance to see if anyone noticed it, and because unbeknownst to me, you're all staring at your own issues. I'll just close my hands on the ropes and keep them when the tension on your hands, because you're holding something so tight, that fear,
yes.
That's why I'm holding that rope really tight, so that that irrational fear of you'll see the stain through my clenched fists. I'm holding that rope really tight. Come on, guys. Let's go.
And I'll also say now, since you are in the center of the, you were just approaching the center of the town. So when it comes to your surroundings, give me 1 second. You have several paths here in the town square, actually. It's almost like the center, it's like the heart of the place. And so, of course, if you backtrack, that takes you to the gate, and back to where but there also seems to be a road. There are four other roads around you. So there are 5 total roads at the center of this town. Not to say, I'm sure maybe it's on purpose here, but as I sketched it out here, so it's funny. It's actually kind of a pentagram. If it's down backwards, right? There's a road leading everywhere else. One road it looks familiar, probably snakes off and leads back to the tavern. One leads back to where you came. The one that leads off this way, you don't know. You've never been down there. And then the other 2 that are kind of heading north, one heading like northeast, and one heading directly out and kind of squiggling into the town further. You don't know where they go. I'll actually say that, without even a presence check, I'll say the one most north, that one seems to, so the one directly up down the way, it seems to lead to a road that could leave the village, and then the one right next to it snaking out to the north, northeast, on a high hill. The fog moves just a bit where it looks like there's a sanctuary or a small church. And the only reason you can see it because the elevation is higher than all the rooftops, and it seems to stand out as the church all by itself on a hill. Everywhere else is so level that you'd have to take those pathways to find out. So back towards the tavern, back towards another way you've never been, or up towards the church, or heading directly north. Those are your kind of options right now.
So right now, I'm the only person on the wagon.
Yeah, I'm back next to Gunther. I take out the money that I grabbed and I go, Skeg. I give him 5. Squark. Give him 5. And without even looking at Helger, I go, Helger, and just chuck it back.
And very easily, Helger will. Well.
So I don't want to alarm you guys, but anybody else got this shit in their hands or anywhere else? Because I know have this before, and you can see it's the mark is starting to just creep up on his hand. He's just kind of, that's not normal.
It's not very metal, but if you've ever seen Princess Mononoke, remember when his hand starts blotching up? It's kind of like that.
Yeah, that's a good description.
Yeah, it's a good description of it, you know.
Yeah.
Is it just on your hands?
Just on hands so far.
I don't have it.
You can't tell, but I mean, it's in one spot, so it's not on both hands. It's just on whichever that one. But you can, if you were to check, I'll start with with Squirt. You probably notice that it's spreading, but not very quickly, right? It's like right now it's just on your arm, but if you look under your sleeve, it's going all the way up.
So he's gonna put his hands to the front of his pants and look, and he's just like, okay, we're still good.
He's okay there. So
We're good. It's the rest we can chop off if need to be. Like I can move one hand, but okay, no, we cannot do without that.
How long do you think you had it?
I know we didn't have it before. I bludgeoned dude over there's head.
And GM, there's nothing on me?
There's
As far as I can tell?
Nope.
All right,
I don't think he's the only one, and I'll kind of like transfer one rope to the other hand and show the hand that has the it's on my palm, like kind of like spreading out on.
All right, we don't touch each other. Not that we were doing that before, but
is Skeg shared or is Skeg just kind of keeping it?
Well, I was gonna.
Skeg reaches to give Helgir a high five with the spot on.
I guess you already got it, right? Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna be too close to you three.
Yeah, stay with Gunther maybe. And...
I strangled. Was there any marks on them, on the bodies?
There are none. If you're saying you're looking over them, they appear.
Yeah, from what we can see, no.
What you can see, no.
Shit.
Maybe it's just tied to the village, and as soon as we escape, it'll disappear. Let's just rush out of here.
All right. We don't share anything. You keep the coins.
Skeg, hearing that, takes the parchment that he found and just tucks it into his fur quietly.
You say that one more time, Skeg?
Yeah.
Skeg, hearing that, just takes the parchment that he had and tucks it into his fur quietly.
Got it. Okay.
Alright, so then I'm assuming, Skeg and Skork, are you guys getting back on the wagon?
Cowardly in the wagon.
Yeah,
And
cool.
Skork is like, he reaches in and grabs another handful of bugs and then like eats it and then realizes, oh shit, wrong hand. Damn it.
Yeah. So right now, I guess, because Fenrir, you're guiding Gunther.
Yeah,
so wherever you...
The wagon of the sick. You stay in there.
Yeah, so in terms of like the path you choose, I will guide, I will
Fine. Okay.
steer the wagon that way. So yeah, so anything forward, I guess, would be like that church straight ahead or a route we've never seen. Those are the 3 straight ahead options.
Church. There's probably more of these bastard inquisitors there. He takes another swig. The pale skin's back, by the way.
Nice.
with the ready nose, Coke bloat. All right, which way are we going? Or do I have to call the shots?
Just do it. Get us out of here.
All right. So there's the church. I'm sorry, GM. One more time. Church.
Yeah, so there is, I don't know.
No, you're good.
So one path directly away from you. Of course, all the three going away from you go backwards towards one going to the tavern, one going down towards the front, and then another towards the place you haven't known. So, but then the two leading away, one is like it's like north, but it kind of goes wiggles off a bit. But it is one heading north, and then the other one forking away and seems to head to the church on the hill. The one that's forking away kind of bends, goes off away from that road, but it's kind of centers off to go. It's still going north. That
right.
one in the fog, you can't quite see where it leads, but it appears to be down that path. Maybe at the distance, it looks like you might be able to see where the horizon breaks. So it might be a way out. But again, it is, and I will say, that way definitely looks the homes that are burned beyond those homes or behind those buildings. There is more of that growth that has taken over. So it is definitely much heavier growth on that side. The growth is everywhere, but it's almost it's where it's closer to the area where the brambles came from. It's like going into that territory.
I don't suppose we want to go in the direction of the growth, so I'm guessing either the other north or the church. The church,
or the backwards way.
Or the backwards way. We go back.
It's like it's almost like remember when you first walked into the town, there was left and right. You never went right, so there is a road from the center that leads back to that right, that part of the town. But that's it.
Ooh.
Almost like if the town had four corners, you went to the corner, but you never went to that corner. Yeah. So you could just continue north and head away from that spot.
Our goal is to get out of here. So let's... Do you think that bastard Hoove demon would come back? I mean, should we just go out the back way? All right, fine. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's go. We'll go that way.
We're
gonna go the right, like you said.
Backwards.
Goes back,
Got it. And so as you guys start to travel this road, as you get away from the burned out hovels of huts, some of the cottages and stuff start to close in closer and closer together to the point where you're just kind of winding back and forth down this small area. And when
there's no life, no
life, no people. And as you walk, though, you do see. That's actually a good question, because you notice that out of some of the rooftops of the houses, you see a couple of bodies like hanging off of what appear to be like the branches that are growing out or growing on the rooftops have just been looks like someone dropped them, shoved the branches through their chests. There's like a body here and a body there. Can't really make out who they were, whether they're male or female, but just up there decaying. And then every now and then you see like in the doorway of a door, a body laying there, but it looks like it was a body, but now it's been so overtaken by the growth that there are little leaves growing out of it and thorns, and it's all shimmers a bit. And as you can
Fenris, I'm like, you sure this is the right way?
The other way there was much more growth, but I'll be honest, I didn't.
This looks like horny giant dropped them on roof.
I didn't expect to see it. This.
And then as you're walking, as you stop there, you can hear voices up ahead. Kind of hard to make out, but
listen.
A couple of them, maybe 2 or 3. Hold up, what are they? We gotta find them. Must bring them in. Several humans or human searching for something, and you're standing like next to like an old building, and through the mist, if you curve around to the right, you'll probably see who they are. But right now, you can't see them; they can't see you, but you hear them. Can't really tell how far they are. Probably, let's say they might be 60 feet away from you.
Oh, it's not too far.
Not too far.
Do you hear that? They're around there. I wonder if I should just peek. I mean, if we walk by with the horse and wagon, they're gonna see us. Probably. I don't know.
Not me.
Do you think it's gonna be safe for you?
I'm not gonna go out there. I'm just gonna peek. I mean, maybe someone can come by, just not too close. If you know what I mean.
I'll go.
Yeah, you go. Whoever, not me.
I have my crossbow ready.
Okay. So as you
Skork
go
has a
peeking
warhammer.
around that corner there, who's peeking? Fenris?
I'll peek.
Peek with that crossbow. What you see is a small section of like a small area enclosure of about 4 homes, right? All to like in a probably in a like within 50-yard area. All of them kind of close together, and you can see that the growth of the trees, almost like a mini little jungle around there, has taken most of the homes. But there are 3 figures, and they are cloaked in kind of dark burgundy-ish robes, tattered and old, a bit soiled. And as they're kind of ugly, men looking around, opening the doors or going into the homes. One of them stands, 3 of them separate, and they go into 3 of the homes. Another one stands and says, "Hurry up, make sure they don't have a basement. Find them." And they're searching. They haven't spotted you. What do you do? The one that's standing at the center has wearing like a really weird kind of old mask. It could be made of skin on his face. Like old tried. Sorry, and I'll turn it back over to you.
No, I whisper back to Skork unless he's seen as well. Well, yeah, I won't get him too close. What I see, and they're hunting for someone.
I'm sorry, I said 4. There's only 3. So the one that's middle, and then 2 of them split off. And the one in the middle, that one that's wearing the face, he's also kind of dressed like he's got a book in one hand, and he looks like at one time he could have been maybe the preacher of the town. Like you notice, like the robe is something that maybe a priest might wear.
They definitely look like more inquisitor hunting bastards.
Why don't you shoot between eyes?
Can
and
you
then
give me a
if I
presence check, Fenris?
Presence, yeah. Yeah, 9.
This one was lower. I made this one lower on purpose. So,
Oh, nice.
so you actually notice though, because they are dressed very differently from the way the Inquisitors dress. Like the Inquisitors, everything about them was the head of the 2-headed basilisk.
It's regal.
Regal, reeked of more money, right, and more power. These guys look like cultists. They look dirty. They look like they stink. Like flies probably follow them. And the garments are more of a reddish tone. And I should have probably added, we're clearly without even rolling. That's why I said it's lower. But you notice like bone and necklaces made of bone and wood, and even like the main one has vines wrapped around his chest, like crossed, almost to try to simulate the growth of the area.
Oh, okay. So I explained that, and the weirdos have bones on them. Then he kind of looks down where the skull is. And then
Skork would just also be like,
so
you mean different kind of weirdo, right?
I just kind of glare at the Skork.
I'm just saying, I mean, well,
These are different types of religious wackos.
how fast can you shoot arrow?
All right. With these guys, right between the eyes.
You take 2, I take 1.
He starts to sniff even louder. He's getting ready. You can tell he's getting a little worked up. We should probably tell them.
You hear like a clunk, and like, no. And then someone yells back from the middle house, like he's yelling to a name. Krata! found them. They're hiding in the basement. You were right. There's a basement. No. You hear like sounds like a small baby cries out like someone couldn't cup the mouth any longer from that house directly ahead. So the one that you hear is definitely still in the house. You don't see him. The other one comes running out of the empty house. So now it's the preacher, we'll call him, and the other cultist running out with a weird bind flail in hand, like he's running to the middle house to go. So this is what's happening.
I shoot that fucker now.
All right, tell them. I come around the corner. You know this, and only Skork would see this probably. They might. It depends how close they are. When he hears, was it a woman? You said
yes. Female.
You know this. His face starts to turn red again, and he in Fenris, and the sniffing gets more intense, and then the crossbow comes out, and not even for a care for him standing out in the open all of a sudden, just points and goes and
give me the attack.
The nearest one. Yep.
Skeg, Helger, we need to come now. Skeg.
You're aiming at the middle, the preacher, or you're aiming at the cultist?
So the
preacher's probably closest. Like
the preacher. So the one that was closest, I was going to say.
Like imagine it like here, like I'm the priest who's turned away from you, who's calling the shots, and there's one guy running out of a house here. There's a house here, and he's running over. The one over here is the one you're hearing the people crying from. So they're clearly going to get them. And then in the middle of his run, you could take either of them. But the one that's easier to hit is the priest because he's not.
Yeah, I was going to say the closest, so he's at. Yeah. So 14.
14. So you actually let me check. Oh yeah, because that hits him. Because you only get because basically in this game, unless I tell you otherwise, to make your attack, you just need to hit a 12. Yeah. So 14 is a success, and I'll tell you otherwise if it's any different.
Right.
So you're always just looking for that 12 to hit or more. So, and Henry can tell me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's
100%. Yeah.
Sure enough, you tag him. Now roll your damage, and if he can,
it's a D8.
Yeah, what's tricky is that most monsters also have armor, so like it has like damage reduction.
Right.
Yes.
So like you can hit them all day, but they have damage reduction.
Right.
And let me check that on this.
Oh, this lead presence. 6. I was just checking something, but 6. I rolled 6. And a D8. So
6 damage. I'm just seeing if I have. I should have already known this. I thought I did, but okay. So I get a D2. T due to a reduction with the robing and all the bone and stuff.
Sure.
So -2. So you said 6.
Yeah.
6. So he takes 4.
Okay.
So you're instead of hitting him in the head, you hit like right in the clavicle, and then it comes sticking through out of front of his chest. And he's like, and he spits out a bunch of blood and kind of like cascades on the ground, and he staggers forth. And he's from under that dried up human mass that still has teeth in it, and he turns around and he says, "Infidels!" He kind of like yells out. And the one who's stopping with his flail stops mid and tries to turn ready to attack. At this moment, I know the game has initiative. It's either roll, and it's either the bad guys go first or the good guys go first. I'm not going to do that. Initiative is going to be narrative. So whoever's acting next, say it. If I get to it first and I say my guy's doing something, then that's what the bad guys are doing, and they're acting before you. Right now, there's only no one's acting. So what's happening?
Cultish bastards!
So with Fenris, because Fenris told Skork that to like get us, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Skork did mention that before Fenris took his action, and so I would get up and like drop the reins and pull out my dagger, Skeg, are you wearing armor?
Skeg, are you? Do we lose him?
Is he frozen?
I think he's frozen.
Oh yeah, I think.
There you go.
Oh, he's back. Oh,
dude,
froze for a second.
That was so still.
Yeah.
I had to get some video of that. I've never had like any of my music on anything online, dude.
Oh, this is Travis's song.
Oh, cool.
Nice, dude.
Sorry, dude. I just had
I was gonna say it after, but I didn't want to jump in the moment and be like, "Hey, guys."
Sure.
Nah, I just had to take a quick clip of that. That was too cool.
Ooh, yeah,
Okay.
I'm recording the
So-
session too, so you'll be able to. It'll be on YouTube, so you can.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not monetized either, so none of you don't have to worry about copyright or anything like that. Yeah.
No worries at all.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
Dude, okay, so Skag is the coward, so I mean, he's just gonna kind of like set up his bear trap on the side of the corner of this room that they're all sitting on and peer out from the side of the corner. That's my plan for combat.
Okay,
Does he like throw it out like a Ghostbuster trap? Like he just like slides?
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
it seemed to work with the dog, so he's just gonna.
Give me a presence check to see how you slide out to see if it's close enough to like.
Right, all right.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's so sick.
The 6. So it slides like way left, like it's nowhere near. Like they. And like the priest kind of like watches it slide out and like looks to where it came from, but he's too busy looking to where Fenris just shot that arrow. But he's just confused and kind of turns.
Is it okay? So is the trap close enough to the priest that like
it's a far shot. It's like 30 feet away from the priest.
Oh, that's far.
Alright.
Yeah.
All right. So then Skork is just gonna run toward him and just try and bash him. If he's the closest one, unless one of the other cultists came out and is closer to him.
Yep, go ahead and attack the priest. As you do, give me an agility check. I'm going to make an agility check for the priest, because since you're trying to close distance. And...
I will say, I know everyone's doing something, but I am reloading. I'm like,
Yep.
All right, so that was for the attack. It was 20, but if you want me to do the agility one,
I want the agility. Yep. The attack stands.
Okay, so agility is gonna be a 10.
Priest beats you on that. So treat it kind of like this. So as you're running towards him, it's enough time for the priest to begin to like start to spin his words of prosperity, and he's like, "Go to the growth, let the growth take him." And as he's like speaking all these fucking curses, I need Skork to take in a what do you call it? A presence check of 12. You need to get a DR 12.
Okay.
Oh, actually no. It's casting time of 2 rounds, so he's starting it. He can't even get it off if he wants to. So he's speaking it. It's not taking effect.
I need to
Don't
hit
worry
him.
about that. You're up. So you're hit. You hit him with 20 as you rush in.
Yeah.
And
Is
go
that
and give your
natural 20
damage.
or not natural?
It was nat 20.
Was it nat 20?
Oh, nat
So
20. Oh shit.
It was a nat 20.
yeah, so it's an auto hits him. So what? Critical? What is it? They don't get the armor.
Is
breaks
it
down a
2
tier.
times damage?
Yeah, just 2 times damage.
2 times
For-
damage, and then
yeah.
he has his tier of armor would be the robing and the bustle, so that would go down to no armor. So you like shattering his armor.
Okay, so it's gonna be 2. So the
So
for
you're gonna
the
roll. You don't double dice. You just roll the damage and double it.
okay.
Right.
Oh, let's say 12.
Like times 2. Yeah.
Nice.
Damn.
So how much?
12.
So
Nice hit.
How do you destroy this priest? Like
So as he's going infidel, he just takes the hammer and just like swings it 2-handed. Jaw pops off, just along with part of the
mask
nose.
flies off. The nose flies off of it, and you see the old decrepit, dark, sunken-in face of this old man as you tear his jaw. Continue.
And then he just looks at him and then just pushes with his boot down on the rest of the face that's left. Just
And nothing's as your boot crushes the face, the tongue like shatters, and his tongue like flies onto his stomach, like writhes away.
Skork will pick up the tongue and he's just like, anybody need a helping hand?
Skork, as this is happening, the guy with the flail, the root is just coming at you. And watch out! He attacks, so you need to make a defense check.
Okay.
Get out of the way. Just a regular D12, because I don't think he doesn't modify it at all.
Yeah, but Renee, do you have armor on?
I have armor, yeah.
What type?
Medium.
Medium. So yeah, so you need to get a 14.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, from 12, right? 'Cause
heavier
it's
armor,
2.
harder to move.
Yeah, it's a +2, right?
It's a
yeah.
plus. Okay.
No, that's not good.
Not 1.
And I got a 3.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. So that's okay.
So he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like a miss is a miss, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna take damage, but then you get to roll a medium armor. I think it's a D4.
So I did 4 damage.
Okay. So then I just
It
rolled a
could be
d4.
worse.
Roll it, and then you minus
Yeah.
subtract.
Oh, but you have a shield too, right?
you have a
I've-
shield
yeah.
too.
So it's a D4, whatever
So-
you roll, +1. Subtract that from.
So it was a 4 on the
Oh
D4,
my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
and then what else was it? Or
Well,
no,
it's a. I mean, it doesn't matter. You
Yeah,
negate
because it's-
You
damage.
blocked it.
Nice.
So the vines like whip against your shield and will like slap right off, and he's like, oh, he's just kind of. You could tell these are either lived here in this town and were subjugated or created some kind of cult to this thing, and they're not very well. They don't know what they're doing. They're not combat tested. And at that moment, the third guy's running out of the house, and he has a dart in his hand and a dagger in the other, and there's still screaming coming from him, like people moving, but there's blood on the dagger, and he's aiming,
Oh.
going like he's gonna blow the dart, like he's gonna but he's aiming, and the only way I guess the closest person is Skork, but he's not going, he hasn't gone yet. So what are you guys doing?
I guess this is my question, GM. Like, because I know for dramatic effects, how long should it take me to?
Yes. So
realistically,
the way I'm marking it on my thing is that even though I'm going
Yeah.
to go when I want, I mark myself if I've gone for this. Yeah, no, it's a perfect question because I didn't make that clear.
No, it's fine.
We're still doing rounds, right? So you're still
Sure.
done, Fenris. You can't
Okay.
go.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
You're loading. You're loading for. I guess there's no real rules for loading. So you're loading for next turn, but you're done
Yeah.
for this round.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Helgar
And Squirk
hasn't
should be done
gone.
too, right? So
Skork is done. Skeg is done too because he threw his thing out. So it's Helgar's turn.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I have my knife in my hand, and and again, this is like a scrawny guy with like a very like tradition. I feel like he has like a white dirty shirt, right? 'Cause like it's just dirty with like everything we've done in the world, and like a leather vest, right? Like no armor. It's just like a shopkeep's
Wow.
attire.
Hunter Thompson.
Yeah, he's gonna like hold the dagger very much like hold on, like this, right? Like downwards, and like run and like try to stab the guy before he blows the dart.
You're just going
Uh,
rushing towards the guy he's bringing it to his lips. Go ahead and make your attack.
Yeah. That's an
It's
8.
black metal.
Yeah, it's an 8. So
So he
I
kind of like
missed.
staggers and you went. It's not a critical one, so I can't do that. Actually,
Yeah.
what it is you trip over the chain. You trip over the chain, but not the actual bear trap. I need a presence check from Skeg. Well, DR 12.
$21.
Oh shit!
Shit.
So he trips, and Skeg's able to like kind of like wrangle it, but it does. So I was doing that to see if the trap went off, and you'd have to pull it back and reset it. The trap is still open. As you stagger forth, Elver, you can still make your. You miss your attack. So as you're kind of
I missed, yeah.
stumbling, he blows that dart and he fires at Skork. Skork, give me a defensive on the dart.
Skork is our warrior.
yeah. And I'm a berserker wizard. Like
Skeg is our trap man. Our bear trapper.
okay, so for the defensive, is it
Yeah.
just it's a D14. Like it's your agility check. You gotta beat a 14 or better.
okay? Oh damn, 10.
10. So
Yeah.
he throws. I only rolled a 1, so he gives you 1 damage. You got the shield, so you.
So you have the
automatically-
shield, so it negates
So
it. Yeah.
like the
Oh,
little
nice.
dart
That's nice.
slams. You tuck your head. Boom.
Motherfucker.
Goes in behind the shield. Nothing happens there. As it slams into the shield, now we're essentially at a new round. The preacher's down. There's 2 cultists. What do you guys do? The only rule I'll have is if you were the last to go, you can't be the first to go on the new round. Who's up?
Dang it.
Yeah, I know. Well, my freaking crossbow's ready, and he's just going the nearest one again. I moved
Okay.
forward a little bit, but I'm,
All right, nice.
Cultist.
Actually, oh no, oh yeah, you did go last. Yeah, so okay, so you shoot at him. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it was 16.
So that hits. Go ahead and roll damage. He's gonna get a D4 to try to negate.
Oh crap. 4.
So you miss. Wait.
No.
No, 16 hit, 4 damage.
4
Sorry.
damage. So sorry. So he negated only 1. So 3
Oh.
damage.
Yeah, he'll do.
It'll do. So when you already hit, is this another crossbow shot?
Yeah, so I have 9 left. Uh-oh.
All right, and this is gonna be the one with the blow dart, right, or the one with the whip.
Which one was there? The one that was
Closest one is the one who's running up on Squirk is the one with the whip, and the one who's farther back that is closer to Hellgear is in the doorway with the dagger. Is the other.
I'll shoot that one. That was the one.
So
I'll
3.
shoot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you tag him in the lower gut, and he's like, oh God, no! Worship to the grove, no! And he kind of like tucks his stomach, and he starts to bleed out a bit over his robe.
Pussy.
He's got thorns wrapped around his head. Bunch of marks where he's cut his skin time and time again, and it's dried blood up there.
Dude.
And so with that he goes, oh fuck, and fires again. This time trying to hit Fenris. Fenris, I'm gonna make your DC a 10 because you're like you have a little bit of cover.
Okay. So what do I roll?
You roll defense, yeah.
Agility,
and you need to 10 or more.
Okay. A 12. Nice.
Jeez, okay. D, so you would have hit it anyway. So as you're missing, what's happening? Suddenly the guy with the whip just tries to hit Squirk. Squirk, make a...
Kill him!
So that's 12.
So you're good. So you block his shield as he's kind of continues to, he's just like whipping back and forth, and you just keep blocking. You and him are kind of like doing a little dance there. Both of them have gone. It's on you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stab him.
All right, go for it.
Again, a wild academic stab. Nice. I got a 15 on that one.
That is gonna hit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that is a D4. And I got a 4. Shit. Nice.
So he takes 2 instead because he got a D2 to...
Makes sense, yeah.
Yep. And so you stab him in the shoulder, and he's like, "Oh God!" And when you stab him in the shoulder, he drops his little blow dart, and he's just got his dagger, and he lunges away from you against the wall of the door, like the doorway, and so your dagger comes out, and he just brings up his. He's like, "Oh, you want some of this? Come on." He's bleeding out of his mouth, his black blood. I'm gonna get you.
And Helger's like, I mean, I really don't want any of that.
I knew you were gonna. I was like, is he going there? And then
Renee knows the joke, and I'm sure Fenris knows.
And you did. And you did.
Travis, one of our other DMs named Eddie.
Oh my god.
All his bad guys say, "I'm gonna get you." So we like that's like,
I'm gonna stab you. I'm gonna shank you.
Well, I not to interrupt the game, but Malcolm, your face and the way you're saying it, I'm like, that's not Malcolm.
That's
and then you did. I'm gonna get you. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh man.
So DM inside joke. Okay.
All right, sorry.
I'm gonna get you. So he's facing off. What's going on?
I'm gonna throw a dagger. I'm gonna throw a dagger at the one who just let out a yelp of pain.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So agility is that was presence check?
Yeah.
15.
That's gonna hit him. God, this guy's getting stabbed. A dagger to the arm, an arrow to the gut, and then
Oh, just die.
go ahead and roll your damage. Gee, yeah.
One damage. One measly damage.
I guess negated automatically, I think.
Yeah, it's automatic. So in some crazy way, your dagger would have landed like right in his throat, and right there he had like a on his bone like choker. It just boom, and it just lands right there. He's like, and like zoom in on his eyes, like old 70s zoom in on his eyes, like, like I'm still alive. Like he can't. He's like, and then he grabs your dagger. And he's like, oh yeah, now I'm really gonna get you. Has anyone not gone?
It's just me. So, the dude with the flail is going at him. So, before he's gonna swipe with the warhammer, he still has the tongue in his hand with the shield. So he's gonna toss that at the guy's face first.
Oh my god. Okay.
Take
Give
that
me
fucker.
a presence check, and if you pass that, I'll give you a bonus to your attack. I'll make your attack a 10 instead of a 12.
Okay, so 14.
14. Yeah, it works. So you hit him right in the face with the nasty wet tongue as it slides down. That just was. He was just, you blasphemer.
And now he's
That's
just
awesome.
gonna swing the hammer, so that's gonna be 18.
Oh, that, yeah. And then go ahead and give him your damage. He's gonna roll his little D2.
And three more damage.
He gets 2 to that, so he takes only 1. So he, like, even though it slaps him right in the face, right as you go to cut him, he kind of sidesteps like really quick, and as he sidesteps, he brings up that flail like that of old vines, and he sees your hand, and he's like, "Named one," and that's what you hear in that moment as he notices your stain too. People inside, it's going quiet inside the house, and we start another round. What are you doing? The only person that can't kick it off is Squirk. As everything's happening here.
I'll try a stab again.
All right, Helger. Come on.
Oh, I got a 9.
And so as you do that, he just attacks back. He just immediately, like, as you throw that dagger out, not used to. He uses like one hand here to grab the hand, and now the cup's over that one, and then kind of jabs at your face.
Right.
Defense check.
Yeah.
I think
10.
a dagger is a D4. Is it D4 damage? I don't.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
a
right.
D4. I have a dagger. It's a D4.
Yeah, and I got a 1, so I don't know if I got 1 damage.
Oh, I got a 10, so I completely missed.
So he just.
So yeah, he stabbed me. Yeah.
How many hit points do you have? And I'm only asking this for flavor.
Yeah, I have 8.
8.
So-
Okay, so he just cuts. If it was worse, it would have been you're like carving your face, but he just puts a gash, right across your cheek, and you step back. One with the knife is gone. What's happening here?
So is that the only one left that we see?
Yeah, so there's one still that's fighting Squirk with the flail, and there's one with the 2 daggers. Now, I'm gonna get you, and he's farther back, and then there's the one just right in the middle that's got a tongue, and just like he's still got the wet blood and saliva of his master's tongue, who's fighting Squirk in the center of the area. They're both like dancing over the preacher's body, like that crushed skull.
Yeah. I'll shoot the one by Squirk is hurt. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Why not? I'm gonna get him.
Hey Malcolm, just one thing. And it's
13.
while Fenris is rolling his roll, and it's something that I forgot completely with this game that's different from D&D is morale. And so
Yes, that's true. I was supposed to roll that every turn
so
for my guys. You're right.
right, you
Thank
roll
for-
morale if the leader is killed, which he was, right?
Yes, and it's 2d6, right?
Yeah. So what I would normally do is whoever killed the leader is like how intimidating
Squirk.
is that, right? So I would have like Squirk roll 2d6,
Oh,
And
I
then-
have to roll it.
and so if depending on his answer or whatever he rolls, compare that to the enemy's morale,
I
which
their
you
morale
have as a
here. I
DM,
have it. Yep.
and then
Okay.
you would say whether Squirk's
Alright.
like quote unquote intimidation is enough to
All right.
alter
the
their
shot
morale.
yet.
Yeah.
Squirk, why don't you give
Okay.
me
2d6.
give me that. 2d6.
I'll hold on the shot.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be 11.
Okay, so what you realize is that as this is all happening, as the one that saw you with the stain in that last round, like looks down, tongue just flat on the ground, looks at his master, and he slowly drops his flail, like, no more, no more, and he starts to slowly back away, no more. But the other guy with the dagger, he's like, I'm gonna get you.
Oh, he's going down. I mean, that one needs to go. Squirk, you got a flail. All right, here we go. All right, that's the one I'm gonna
So you're
shoot.
gonna shoot, yeah.
Get you. Was that the one I attacked? No, it wasn't. It was the other one.
No,
So
it was the other
one.
I'll roll separate this time then. Damn it, 5.
5. So
That's my bad. Sorry, Eric.
No, but that's good though because that guy surrendered.
Skag,
Yeah,
is there
yeah.
anything you can do? You don't have your dagger on you, but you got your. What do you?
He's gonna take the chain from his bear trap, and in a rare moment of bravery for this character,
Run with it like a flail.
yes,
Give me a melee check, even though it has a little bit of range on it. DR12.
Damn,
That-
Skag turned into Ghost Rider.
would that be related to strength? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's yes.
It's a sad too.
Oh. you throw it out, and he kind of steps back, and it lands into the side of the church, and it goes off, and it bites the side of the wall, and it's like stuck in the side of the wall, and now there's a chain between him with the two daggers and Helgir, who he's like, oh, never seen that.
And run away.
Has everybody gone or?
I went.
Okay.
Yeah, I went. Yeah.
So then the guy with the dagger, he's like, he kind of gets a bit shook, and he runs into the house. As he takes off into the house, what do you guys do? And you go, no!
Squirk's gonna run in.
As you run in, he's pulled this woman up. There's a body on the floor of a man, maybe in his 40s, and this other woman, maybe in her early 30s, and she looks like a townsfolk. She is a bit wearing almost like she is a farmer, like normal commoner clothes. Her face has the stain all across one side, and he has his dagger. He's holding her around and shaking. He's got both daggers in one hand, but he's like holding one to her face, like one across her neck and one out to you. Like, you gonna get back here, get back.
Squirk's just gonna go straight and tackle him.
Oh shit!
Oh wow.
Go for it. Go make the attack. And I'll say just because of the woman, it's going to be a 14. You got to make it's a DR 14.
That's fair.
Damn, 12.
12.
Oh no!
You tackled her.
But remember,
So, you tap- yeah.
wait, Marco, Renee. I mean, I don't know if you want to use it now, but remember your omens.
Your omens.
Because omens.
Oh, so I can re-roll that, right?
Or you can lower the
Or
difficulty.
you can lower the difficulty back
So
to
let's
12, and
yeah,
then
let's
it'll work. So you
cool.
see the omen.
Lower the difficulty.
So almost in
Yeah.
that moment, like as you're coming in, he's like, yeah. He's like going out to stab you, and you can tell that what would have happened is if you had tackled him, his blade would have accidentally sliced her throat. But you're able to see it and tackle him in such a way that you grab this arm, and it all goes out. And as you come down on him, go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, so that's gonna be where is it? Here we go. 4.
Oh yeah, he's done. How do you kill him? Jeez.
So when Squirk slams into him, he makes sure that both daggers, at the last minute, he just kind of turns them, and so they just kind of stab him in the neck.
And as they go into his neck, this guy has a piercing in his shoulder, an arrow in his gut, and 2 daggers in his neck, and then the one that almost took, you pretty much get it right where it was. And he's like, I'm gonna get you.
And then just for
Land
good
him to
measure,
the back of the wall. You kind of run into a post, and he's still talking shit like, in the afterlife.
and then just for good measure, Squirk is gonna be like, and just right in his
Spits right into his mouth.
face. in the mouth.
And you can see, it's like on his tongue, and he's like, dies.
Dies with a stranger who loses his mouth.
Right down his esophagus. That's like out of a Cannibal Corpse song.
And on that note, slowly, 5 people come out. Oh, actually, because there's 1 is dead, so 4 others, including the one that you just saved, and one lady holding a small child that she was cupping its mouth, come out. And they all have stains somewhere on their body. Thank you.
What is
There's
this?
only one other man there. Oh, you. It is.
Yeah, good question.
It is the stain of. It is the mark of the bellmare. It means that we are to be. We believe to be sacrificed. We're trying to hide from it.
So this is you're talking about the giant who's gonna shoot me?
It's going to stoop you and hang you from the branch. And the old man is like one old man. He's like, and hang you from the branches in the village.
Oh shit, no.
You must help us.
Is there any way to get rid of this?
And there's this galloping. And then outside, Skork is inside. The rest of you guys have. What do you do as you hear from the road? There's a road heading away, like the road you came in on. You can see the houses, but you can hear something riding up from the left coming down away. Do you hide? What do you do? But it is that galloping, is that very familiar sound.
I'd probably run into the house.
So Helga runs into.
We look at the women that like where did you hide? Where'd you hide? Go.
And so there's down here and thing like a cellar.
Sorry, Gunther.
I need agility checks. So from the people who I thought were inside the home immediately, which were Skork and Helgir, you get it. I guess not advantage, but you get a lower. You just need a check of 10 or more. Skag and Fenris, if you're gonna try to hide outside, that's one thing. If you're trying to running into the house, then you need a regular check.
Okay.
Rolled 18 for agility.
Okay.
Nice. It's agility, right? Okay.
Yes, it's agility.
I got a 16.
Okay.
Oh, nice. 15.
Wow.
And what was the check?
Agility.
It's agility.
Is it 12?
12, yeah.
Okay, so if we get it, is it? If
12
you get a
is
12, like
you
so.
get it.
Okay, all right.
You just
Wanna make
barely
sure.
get it.
Yeah. I was just like, oh shit.
And so you all run into the house. Would you get a score at 12?
I got a 12.
So you're the last one in. Everybody's just rushing. Skag grabs this like thing and runs in. As he runs to the door, you guys all climb in. And you guys are going down the stairs. Skorg, you're still running across that open way between the house and the roadway you came from, and you see that thing galloping forward with its hands out and its yellow eyes. And you rush into the house, and it slides and stops. And as the door closes on this side of the house, there's like out through the window, you can see it standing out there, kind of like galloping back and forth, looking at the house. You all get down in the basement, you slam the door, and now you're down there, and there's one little candle that the old man has that's lighting the area. And it's out there. What do you do? And you hear it like every now and then, like a horse breathing, but nothing's happening right now. Nothing's attacking.
You see Gunther, like, he has his crossbow ready, and he's just... Sorry, Gunther. we left poor Gunther up there. The mule. Hopefully,
Hey Fenris, I've got an idea.
Oh, you guys, because Gunther is Gunther the is that the
the
dog?
mule.
That's
I mean, what can we do? I mean...
Yeah.
It's Skag.
You're all like huddled in there with the people.
Yeah. Well, Fenris is probably the only one in one corner who's like not like touching anybody, but he's got his crossbow. I think I'm the only one who's not tainted.
Right, yeah.
And Skag has the does he have the bear trap?
I tried my best, right, to pry it free.
Damn, so it's still attached to the wall.
Oh no, actually give me a strength check to pull it out.
Okay. 10?
10, you need a 12.
No.
So you like ran inside, so it's still there outside dangling in the wind. That thing is walking back and forth. So yeah, you guys are
okay. Stinky, crusty, corrupted people. How do I get rid of this shit? If we kill that thing, does this go away?
Jag's gonna speak up, just out of the circle and say, let's pray to him. I know that sounds crazy. Let's pray to him.
Let's pray?
Let's pray to the beast so that it goes away and that it sacrifices someone else.
How do you know this? And
Then Skag will pull out the paper and show it to the group. Then I guess he'll read it aloud, saying the parchment says that the creature marks the victims with dreams of their death. They are to be sacrificed, but those who worship it are sometimes spared. worshippers are to be cleansed as destined.
Cleansed as disdained.
Can we do it from here?
Yeah, but
Do we have to touch him?
I've just been praying to him. Ever since I read that, I've been praying.
Have you, Skag?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
I have so many questions. So you pray to it, and then he's. But okay, you said he may sacrifice someone else.
Yeah, that's my hope. I mean,
Yeah, but
what
who?
are you gonna do?
And then Helger, as you said that, Helger would just like with his thumbs point at the old man who let us in.
So Skork is just gonna grab the old man because he's ruthless.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, old man. Your life was very fulfilling, I'm sure, and it was long and much lived. And let's go.
Fenris goes like this to the women and child. Here, look over here.
So you're taking that one man, and what are you doing with him?
I'm gonna walk him out to the front and be like, "Hey, pony creature thingy."
So first of all, there's you're downstairs in the basement. When you go up to the top, you clink,
Gotta
you
unlatch it.
lift it and you latch it. As you lift that heavy wood and you look out, the old man's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing with me?" The people everyone is starting to make a lot of noise, a bit concerned that you're sending him out there. As you lift the latch and as you look out there, Skork, what you see is, I wish I had a gif of it, but they're in the doorway. You see something lean down, two hands lean down and grab the sides of the doorway like that. See those two yellow eyes where I am? Lean down and look at you, and you see a bit of a maw hanging down, and you can still leaning in the doorway, but it's like literally bending down, because through it you can still see the hooves of the feet. And so to share this now with you, you see this thing behind me. This is what this thing is. Skork gets to see that the antlers are essentially legs, and then the lower part of its head has hands.
So Skork looks down. He goes, "It's okay. We're going to go pray together." He's gonna shove the man through.
I need a strength check as the man is trying to fight back. He is weak, so it is a 10 or more.
That's a 19.
Oh God!
Oh, we're assholes.
So as you shove the man forward towards the thing, Skork, I need a defense check from you.
Okay.
He's saving you. He's saving you.
Oh, that was a 1.
Ooh.
Do you have an omen?
Omen, yeah.
Do you have any left?
I do not. I had the 1.
Oh.
Dan, I had 2.
Yeah, I had one
Can
as
we
well.
give each other omens?
No, probably not.
Actually, you could actually have someone re-roll. That is one of the things. So
I
for
have to
omens-
neutralize a fumble, but I'm not there.
No, but an omen you can. Hold on, what page is that on? Because it is one of the things you can do with it. You can re-roll a dice. It doesn't have to be yours, so you can force a re-roll if someone's willing to give up an omen that they have.
I'll give
Okay.
up an omen.
All right. Yeah. So you're able to do that. So then Skork can re-roll.
17.
Okay.
Sorry, geezer.
So it snatches the man, and as it does, with one of the hands, it holds it like looks at you, Skork, and then it makes its second attack. You can still roll defense, but it's done after this. But it makes its second attack.
We can't see this, right? We have no idea.
You're just like because he went up there and he's standing in the doorway essentially with this thing. So the first image, what happens is it reached out to grab you, and that first one, it grabbed him by one arm, and it tried to grab you too, and it missed.
Okay.
You need to be praying.
Omens can still be used. It's all still fair.
This music is perfect.
This is so disturbing.
So I just make the defense roll.
Yep.
Oh boy.
It's a 2.
Oh. Is anybody trying to thwart this or?
All right. I will. Yeah. I'll give away 1. Sure.
And here's the thing. I will say I
one
like
more.
that you do this, but you gotta describe how you're doing this. Like maybe how does this look cinematically for Fenris to be trying to help? I feel like I feel like that's gotta.
No, that's good. That's a good idea.
Or maybe I guess because it's the omen, so it's the fates. So maybe the fates are looking down on you, and because they have some plan for Fenris, maybe they're trying to help Skork here. So I actually take that back because the way I read omens, it's not like an advantage, it's not like a help check, right? It's
right.
So
It's more like a DM inspiration check.
It's
but it's a more powerful version of that.
yeah.
Okay, so
I
it's
take that
not
back.
like
You
Sven.
don't have to do that.
How about
Okay, so
this?
it's not like Sven's teeth like clamping down on my ankle and pulling me back.
Yes, it's not that.
Yeah.
Fenris
Well, yeah,
feels
the way
an
I-
It could be
essence
easy
leaving.
as Fenris is down there praying or doing something like just
Fenris, he feels an essence.
talking to his
leave him.
skull. You know, I don't know.
Leave him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
the way I played it when I was doing it was very much like Final Destination, where you visualize, like you get a vision of like something that should have happened,
And then you doesn't.
and then it
Yeah.
doesn't, right? Like
That's
with
cool.
that
I
omen.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. That's a perfect way to describe
That's
it.
awesome.
Alright, that's cool. I can.
So what you see is about to happen, Fenris, to Skork, is this thing stands up on its hind legs holding the old man by one hand. And as it stands up on its hind legs, its 2 hooves go up and its hands go out like that, like it was reaching out towards you. Maybe you see that in your mind, those 2 yellow eyes and those legs going
So-
back. Its chest opens up and black tentacles reach out to grab.
So Fenris, like for once, not the sniffing or the jittering, or all of a sudden just kind of stops, and he's kind of like looking out. His eyes are dead, and then some essence leaves him and goes to
Yeah.
Shrek.
So you get some nuts. You get some nuts.
Skork.
So you are either dropping it or you're making a reroll. What are you using that omen?
Is that for
For you,
me
I
or
guess
does
it's good.
Fenris?
Oh, it's Fenris. How does he work?
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fenris.
Fenris has to do it. Okay, so,
Oh,
so
okay,
you make
so-
the roll for him. Is that what it is? Because
No. So
Oh.
Fenris, his choice could be
to
reroll a
choose.
dice.
yes. What do you want to
And
make
so-
him do?
And
You want
it was reroll, and what was the other one?
You can.
You can either like lower one's test by 4, but
I don't think it doesn't help for him.
Yeah, it
here.
wouldn't
Oh, yeah. Okay. So reroll.
It would reroll a roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's curious. I mean, as a mechanical structure, should that fall on Fenris? Because
Right.
it's
it's actually-
his omen being
I think it's your omen, so I think it should fall on you to decide what he needs to do.
Okay. That makes it more
I like
dramatic
that.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I rerolled, so it's a 14.
Okay. And so as these tentacles start wrapping and grabbing chairs in the room, they just like spray out of this thing. It's like the middle of the top of the chest area of like what would be a horse split open, where you can see the rib cage, and then black tentacles reach out. And as they're grabbing you, you're able to slip through or like cut them. How do you get and get back to the downstairs? Or what do you tell me what you want to do? What do you?
He's like slipping back and just trying to like clamber away from it, until he can, if he can get to that hatch.
And as you get to the hatch, it slams back down and it cuts one of the tentacles. One of them is still wrapped around your arm. And the last thing you see before it was slamming is it putting the old man inside. And slowly peeling and closing back up the ribs, closing up like teeth.
Sorry.
And slowly, and almost like that's like maybe like that was suffice for now. You hear that breathing slowly drop away, and you hear the and it's gone.
Did he touch you, Skork?
Just the weird tentacle thing.
Tentacles. He pulls out another swig and he's already feeling guilty about the man, and now he hears tentacles. Like,
Skork is just like picking it up with the hand that's already been touched, and he's just like, Skeg, would you like some? I mean, you seem to eat anything, so.
Not this time, thanks.
You said you
Okay.
felt the essence leave you for a second.
Yes.
Fenris, you see that. Just since that's what you heard as you.
Wait, what was that again? I'm sorry. The last
Oh,
part.
I sent. Oh, I sent it to you in the chat. To
Oh.
you personally.
I think that went fairly well, etc.
You said Skeg, a sacrifice and a prayer, right? Is that what it says on the thing?
Then he like opens it up again. They are to be sacrificed, but those who worship are sometimes spared. Worshippers are to be cleansed as the stain.
I can't believe you, says one of the women. She's finally switched this. We've been hiding here for fucking days, and you just give our oldest patriarch to it?
Hey, no.
You're
I
not
didn't
here to
just.
help us.
I didn't
Helger?
just give it. Like, I put myself in danger to help everybody. I mean, look at this.
He spits
This
on
is
the
not
ground.
normal.
You put us in help. You're Mark II. You should die. You should have died with him, you brute.
Helgar will take out a silver piece and be like, shh.
Well, we
Like, I told
suck,
you what's
man.
your money? And she slaps Helgar's hand. Like, your money will do nothing for us here. And she collapses, and one of the other ladies like grabs her and they like clutches her and like.
While this is going on, Emrys just tunes it out. He reads what Skeg put in front, and at the end part, it says about sometimes.
Well, that's
a
what you
living-
heard. You heard that in your mind. So
No,
you,
I know, but I'm also reading. I do know what I heard, but was it? I'm reading what it says on the thing too.
Oh, okay. And so, going back to what it told him to. It says.
It was the end part. I'm trying to hear.
Yep. Let me go.
Sure.
What I had sent to the parchment says that the creature marks its victims with dreams of their death, which maybe some of you have had. They are to be sacrificed, but those who worship it are sometimes spared. Worshippers, but other times worshippers are to be cleansed as the stained. So it is still a little, yeah.
So I could be stained.
But you also have no stains at the moment.
In the midst of this, just major sniffing comes again, and
Oh, so did I say that right? They are to be sacrificed, those who have the dreams, but those who worship it are sometimes spared. That's what it is.
are sometimes spared. Oh, okay. And for the first time in a while, he pulls out and looks at the skull. And then you see him as the commotion of their understandable argument that's coming out right now. Fenris just kind of bows down, closes his eyes, and starts to pray to this thing. Regretfully, but doesn't.
Final offer. Does it really?
What the hell? Yeah.
What does he say to it?
You leave us with no choice, but we cannot deny your greatness. We can't defeat you. We acknowledge your superiority, and if we are thy servants, will thou please let us go? Please.
And like most prayers.
And then the snitch immediately comes back. Sorry.
Yeah, no. And like most prayers in a way, he hears nothing back. It's quiet. But it's still tense, and he still feels like he's opened a gateway to something, but at the moment nothing is responding.
Helgar will pick up the dropped coin that he offered earlier to the woman, and ask if if we think that it's safe outside again. Can we make our escape? We offered a sacrifice.
Say that again.
Well, I'm asking the group if we think it's safe to leave since we've offered a sacrifice.
We can go and check. Skork will go back to the door and kind of like Goonie style, like just barely, like you can just see his eyes through the top.
So he goes and he looks out, doesn't see anything. Coast seems to be clear. Doors hanging wide open. Bodies are still there. Tongue is outside. It's just a mess, but no creature.
It doesn't look like it's there anymore, guys.
Careful.
Should we make a run for it?
How fast does a donkey run?
Alright, let's
I'll give Fenris lard and maybe that will help motivate.
fine. Fine.
Do we all need to play Fenris?
Sorry, yeah, let's all right, so we see nothing.
It's clear. Coast is clear.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. So as we're like, because I'm gonna follow.
And as you leave that building, left leads back to the town gate. Front directly ahead of you leads back to where you came from, the center of town, and right would lead out towards the church, up towards the church.
That's
Well, but before we choose the direction, like as everyone's loading onto the wagon, I was gonna loot the leader's body.
Okay, and the leader
Right.
has. So what you find on the leader's body is a golden ball of some type, about the size of maybe a small golf ball, and it has a little line, so it looks like it could be twisted and opened, but not whether you do that or not. And then, there's something else. Sometimes I can't read my own writing. Jesus. Oh, and then so just the ball. So I don't know. It looks like it could be twisted and open, but it's a little golden ball. Whether it's actual gold or not, you don't know. Maybe it's just plated or look like gold. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean we're in a rush, so I'm just gonna like dig in through the pockets. If I grab the ball, I'm just gonna grab that and
That's the only thing you find on him.
Yeah, that's okay. So then, what are our two options? I know the church is one.
Church, back towards the town gate, back towards the town square.
As he's searching for through the leader, can Skeg try one more time for the bear trap?
Oh yeah, this time now without needing to, without the tension.
the tension.
Just pulls it out.
Just pull it out.
Collects it. But what's funny is as you walk outside, what you guys see though is that your donkey's parts are splattered all over. There's a leg up on an awning. The head is like over that way. The cart is still there and everything on it. But Gunther is no more.
Sorry, Gunther.
Skork is gonna walk over and just pick up a piece of a leg and just like put it in his backpack. Hey, don't look at me that way. We're gonna need to eat later.
Yeah. Helger, I think we'll realize we're not escaping here without the wagon. Like we can't take the wagon with us. It's just gonna slow us down too much without Gunther. So I'll grab my one sack of lard and carry that.
Are there any of the brambles by us?
As you look around, give me a very low presence check, really quick, and it's like a half, like a 8 or more.
Okay, 11.
So you find like a small little batch, like growing out of the cracked ground to one side. Yeah, what do you do with it? Just
Skorkus
small
with
little,
his-
not big and crazy like the other parts of the town, but yes.
So Skork is just gonna walk over to it and just snap off a piece with the hand that has the stain.
Okay. And he snaps off a piece. Nothing happens. It writhes and moves like a worm in your hand for a second before drying up and dying, falling to the ground.
Yeah. So this shit just died when I snapped it off, guys.
And we'll die too if we don't leave here.
Is that lady? Probably not. Or she? I don't know. Did she come out with us?
So the people stay there, but one woman walks out and stands in the doorway. I was gonna actually. It's funny that you said that because I was actually gonna say, it's the woman that cupped her mouth and tried to stop her, and goes, "Thank you for at least making it go away.
What?
We all hope that if we can get to the church, maybe the angel of the Karakan light will save us, but we know it will find us before we get there.
What's up?
But if you do find a way to get there, please come back for us."
What's up at the church?
Well, it is a church of the old order. It is not of the gods that are not to be spoken of any longer. The ones of light. I probably shouldn't even be speaking. It is blasphemy to speak of them and not the two-headed basilisk. Sometimes I just believe that if we were there, we would be safer. But the church has made it treason to go there. That's why we went to our homes first. We hoped that the basilisk would save us.
You know, we should get out of here, but maybe we should check it out.
You okay, Fenris?
Bit not a fan of the church, but I can see maybe there is a way out, or maybe it's just the ramblings of a crazy church person.
Yeah.
I mean, if I believe anything now, that thing was disgusting and gross, and so it has tentacles out of middle of body. So if there's angel that can kill that thing, let's go.
Okay. Crossbow ready.
I like adjust my lard bag and then start walking toward the church.
You and your lord.
Yeah, I paid good money for this.
And so as you guys start walking up the street, takes you about 20 minutes to get to the church, but 10 minutes in between, you find this big house. It could have been maybe the Burgermeister or whoever, maybe the mayor, whoever was. The house would have been nice in one time. And you see on the side of the house, amongst the growth, kind of like an alien, a man, no arms, who is kind of stuck and clung to the wall. And he opens his eyes and he just says, "Please help me. Please help." And his entire house is covered in the growth. Doesn't look like much you can do. if you continue on, then you eventually go to the church. And as you climb a hill all by itself up there, as the fog begins to split, is a little pathway to a small little sanctuary. And as you get closer, I need a presence check from everyone. I need either all successes, anyone that fails.
I think I got a 9.
13, yeah.
Well,
Oh, well, okay.
13. Got a. Okay.
Out of 2.
I guess this is the church. Okay. Yep. And so, while it's more open and no other homes around it, you notice that the growth, there are a lot of bramble around it, but nothing crawling up on the church. What was the highest roll?
13, I think.
13. And so as you all approach, surely but not, before you can get within an earshot of that doorway, you hear that galloping. And it seems to be coming from behind you. And you turn and you're behind you, and you can see it, the Belmere, riding up towards you. What do you all do? If you turn, there's like probably 100 yards, like a football field, to the doorway, and there's you on the field, and it coming out of the town.
Run like hell.
Skeg, drop bear trap.
Egg is going to drop to his knees and start praying
Yes.
to the beak as it rides up. And then just chop his head off, man. It's all good. Do whatever.
So it rides past him in a run, cutting off your path. By now, does anyone else continue to run, or because Egg drops? What does everyone else do?
I'm running.
You see the sniffing stops, and then the head bows, and
Fenris drops down too.
Yeah.
As Fenris drops down, we'll have to my music. But as he drops down, everyone is continuing. So Helgar is running, and what is Squirk doing?
Squirk has dropped his hammer, and he is now kneeling, just like, please, all right.
Great.
I need a defense check from Helgir. And it's 14 or higher.
9.
Oh. You have anything to do?
No, I'm out of spells. I'm out of omens. I am.
Oh, man.
Out.
You want my omen?
No, dude. I mean,
7 damage.
that knocked me to 0. Yeah.
Is it facing Helgir?
It's running. It passes.
So it ran past
when
me?
it runs past you.
It ignored us.
It ignored you.
Ignored us.
Continue to gallop past up to him. And if anyone's doing anything or casting omens, then it cuts you off, Helgir. And as it does this, it rises up on its 2 hands, and its hooves go up, and it puts the back antlers go down, and as the head rises up, the 2 hands that are usually lower hanging, they go up. They kind of do this as it looks down on you, cutting you off and stopping. And it pauses for a moment. What do you do?
My dagger drops. Like, I'm scared shitless right now. like no action, because you hit me on the attack, whatever that was. So
and then its chest starts to peel open. And its tentacles start to grab him, and they drag Helgir into the chest, and they slowly peel up and close. Now it doesn't move, and as you all are still like on your knee, you turn and look. and before you're all still down, you hear it gallop. Actually, no, before you turn, you hear it gallop up, and it grabs the back one by one of your heads, kind of slams it down to the mud, like continuously, like what you're doing is almost like yes, but lower, like grovel. You continue.
Oh, great and bountiful master!
And he's just continuing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I communicate with the entity as I have been in the mind lately. I brought them. Here they are.
And then I need a DC 16 defense check from both Egg and Pork.
Oh, hate me.
15!
3.
When it matters most.
Awesome.
And so there is like a statue like near where the graveyard is, and it's a large angelic like figure with these two huge wings, and it snatches up Skeg and Spork and rides them over to it and slams them, and the two wings jut out of their chests as they begin to like cough and bleed out, and the vines come out of the ground, out of the earth, and start to like reach up and like. But what's weird is that as you're dying and all of that pain, as you're succumbing to it, because you were honorable, your sacrifice, you feel yourself becoming one with the creature. It rides back over and stands in front of Fenris, and as it drops back down on its all four legs and hands out. Is there anything you do as you nothing is happening around you and your friends are dying? You can hear Helger trying to escape on the inside of this thing's chest, like mumbling around. And
He, Fenris, immediately thinks back to the vision and the dream that he had, and he thinks of the Baron, and he sees the skull. He thinks of the woman he loved and was framed for her murder. And he realizes he was always running away. Always running away. He tried to be brave, and in the end he always sells out the ones he's with. This is his lot, and he had it coming to him.
And as he happens, the creature points one of the hands out, and as he looks to where it's pointing, there's a road leading out of the village, and the brambles begin to open just for Fenris to leave, the only one unstained. So you served him up, and you get to walk away.
And as he gets up, there's not a sniff, there's not a twitch. He drops the drink, and he ultimately drops the skull and leaves.
And we just end on his dark, lonely figure leaving the town as the bramble closes up behind him. Thank you for playing tonight.
That was awesome.
The Cleaving of Buskstatt. Good, awesome.
That was awesome.
That was the most evil and depraved and just most metal game ever.
What an amazing ending.